The shop and mowing your grass, it's time you look at a Hustler zero-turn lawnmower. Residential mowers from Hustler are built like tanks and drive like sports cars. All Hustler mowers have fabricated, welded steel decks. Don't settle on cheap units with flimsy stamped decks from big box stores. Come see Ron Ayers Motorsports. It will guide you to the right mower for your property and your budget. Find us at Ron Ayers Motorsports, Highway 11, north of the airport in Greenville.
Do you think you or your employees might have been exposed to COVID-19? ArcPoint Labs of Greenville offers same-day COVID-19 results. No referral needed. Same-day results available. ArcPoint Labs of Greenville offers easy employer solutions to COVID-19 testing. ArcPoint Labs of Greenville is located across from Vidant Hospital on Executive Circle behind Southern Bank. Call for an appointment or walk in. ArcPoint Labs of Greenville, 215-5688 or arcpointlabs.com.
Your power's out. There's a water leak. What do? For these and other utility-related emergencies, you need service, and you want it fast. There are two things you can do to get the quickest response if you're a GUC customer. First, you can call the hotline at 1-855-767-2482 and report any utility-related emergency. That number is also on GUC.com. Or second, you can give GUC your phone number. The hotline process is quickest when their account records have your current phone number. Service you can count on. Greenville Utilities.
Radio Network.
Powered by O'Reilly Auto Parts and Rocket Mortgage.
Live from Las Vegas, here's Matt Peralt.
Jose, have we had any connection problems today? With my connection? Has it been bad? Has it been okay?
No, not at all. Why?
Okay. Well, I'm only asking because, like, my entire house right now is shaking because on the other side of our development, they are repaving the road. And I'm not, like, it feels like this would be right now, it feels like if there was an earthquake going on, this is what an earthquake would feel like in my house. Like, things are falling down. Like, I have two pictures. I have two pictures in this room that are currently now cockeyed because of the house is shaking so much. So I was just wondering because, like, to me, it would make a lot of sense for connection problems because the internet is underground. That's how it goes out to the internet. So, like, I was wondering, when the ground shakes, do we have internet problems? Because I've never had. They started at 6:30 in the morning this morning. I've never had this happen before, where they've been doing something this aggressive right next to my house. So, that 6:30 in the morning for repaving should be illegal. Just FYI. I know why people do it. I know because the morning commute and they want to get out of the way quicker, and there's less people on the road then, and I get all that. But boy, that was not a fun way. After my kid getting up at 4:30, then me getting up at 6, and then having to listen to that right outside my window at 6:30, that was not what I wanted to have happen in the morning today. So I'm a little grouchy, just a little bit annoyed at all that. Pushing the Odds being brought to you by Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans. Rocket Mortgage with you every step of the way to provide a seamless mortgage experience. Oh, okay, on the text line, 702-751 Matt is our text line. How many are entered into the Circa Million? They want an update on that. Let me give you a quick update. I got to pull that up as to where Circa Sports is for that. I'm going to say it's for that they have gotten closer to 600. How about that? Let's see where they are. 523. So that's a text out of the 702. 523. It's a $2.4 million overlay. So as of this morning at 11:30 today, so they just updated it. 523 entries are in. Once again, Circa Sports needs 3,000. They're at 523. They're at 220 now for the Survivor. That's a $780,000 overlay. That's much. They're okay with that. I mean, what they were seeing yesterday and over the weekend was a shrinking of the 3-to-1. They're now 2.5 to 1 for people who are playing both. You're playing the Circa, you're playing the Survivor, you're doing both. Some are doing max. Can you do 5 entries in the Survivor, 3 entries in the Million? Some are maxing out with that. So we'll watch this as we go through here. Little football talk. Mark Schofield's joining us from USA Today on the NFL. Next on Move.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington. The following is an exclusive presentation of Pirate Radio, the voice of the pirate nation. Welcome to Pirate Radio Live.
You can paint this with purple.
Now live from the Pirate Radio studios in the heart of the pirate nation, here is your host, Clip Brock.
Hello everyone, welcome in to Pirate Radio Live. Clip Rock here with you inside the Pirate Radio studios on Pirate Radio 92.7 FM in Greenville, 104.1 in Washington. We're on 1250, 930. You can catch us online at pr927fm.com. You can also watch us live on Facebook Live and YouTube Live. Comment there, join in on today's program. Coming up, a lot of ECU news and notes to talk about, and we'll do that with several of our guests today, including Brian Bailey coming up at 4 o'clock. Troy D going to join me in the 5 o'clock hour here in the Pirate Radio studios. We'll also go out to Nolan's and talk to our old buddy Todd Graffagnini. He is out of the NBA bubble after his first year of calling Pelicans basketball. We'll talk about that experience and also what's going on around the world of sports with Todd Graffagnini, and the big man on campus, Jeff Nadu, will join us at around 4:30 to talk about sports from a gambling perspective. Of course, ECU football is on a pause, but there are some sports at East Carolina that are on the practice fields getting ready for upcoming seasons, and that includes Steve Rockefort from ECU basketball and also Jason Hamilton, head women's soccer coach at ECU. We'll talk to them later in the week on Wednesday. Cy Seymour going to join us on Tuesday's show. So big show today and a lot of great guests coming up later on this week here on Pirate Radio Live. And Ellerbe joins me here to kick things off to catch us up on where we are right now with ECU football and everything going on. Ellerbe, how you doing?
Doing great, Clip. And where are we in this crazy world of ECU football right now? As you mentioned, East Carolina on a pause. But, I mean, to me, it seems kind of like a normal pause. I feel like everybody's pretty optimistic that East Carolina, we're expecting East Carolina to start practicing later this week. I mean, based on all the press conferences and all the news and notes that the chancellor and everybody's been saying, it's like, hey, online only for East Carolina students, but it seems to be that we're going to be playing football on September 12th.
That was the news on Sunday, ECU moving to online only for students. And if you want to look at it this way, I think that is fantastic news for football, because that means that they can create at least some sort of bubble where these football players aren't going to class with other students, and Mike Houston can kind of control the thing a little bit when he's only got to worry about his players. I mean, I take that outlook on it, Ellerbe. I think it's a good thing for football being played this fall.
I kind of wonder if long term, if East Carolina football players or football players in general should just be all online in general.
Look, they're not normal students. We all see that now, right?
Yeah, I mean, exactly. I mean, you just kind of wonder, like, hey, by the way, guys, come on over from 9 till noon. We're going to have online classes for everybody. We're going to have a little training table lunch and then practice this afternoon. So I agree with you. I mean, everybody, wanted to go doom and gloom on the online stuff, but I mean, I looked at it as really a positive for the student athletes and for the East Carolina football team, because one, I mean, it's less in-person classes they had to go to, and then obviously less people living on campus in the dorms, as the chancellor said in his press conference on Sunday, that really the only people that are going to be left in the dorms are going to be international students that have special circumstances and student athletes.
Well, the people going gloom and doom on the news, were they football people or were they academic people and financial people who know that, it's not great news for the university to go to online?
I guess I should have prefaced it a little bit more. I guess it's when you get probably asked the same questions all the time too. Well, what do you think about this now? Like are they kind of hoping that the football season is going to be canceled? But I mean, I really, when I look at it now and everything you hear, I mean, I think the train is set to for September 12th. It's just a matter of what time East Carolina and Marshall are going to kick off. Obviously, a lot of things can change. It's a fluid situation, but we'll just have to see. It's been a bizarre turn, and it's kept us busy here, and we've been on top of it all steps.
So, are we looking at? You think you mentioned it a moment ago? ECU getting back to the practice fields sooner rather than later?
I would think based on what they find out. They didn't say X number of players have it or X number of. So I don't. Have they isolated where it was within the football team and the athletic department, and then can the rest of the people start getting back out there? I think we'll probably start hearing something Tuesday or Wednesday is my guess, of when what the schedule is going to look like.
We'll use other cases as examples in this, and while Troy and I were on the air, or maybe it was Friday with Morgan. I can't. You showed us the example of App State, who
3 days.
3 days back in Tulsa. A little longer than that, but boom, they were back on practice after a pause. So it's happened other places. They get the test results. The guys that test positive, they they quarantine them. Everybody that tests negative, I saw in Tulsa's cases, 2 negative tests. Boom, you're back on the practice fields playing. Yeah,
and you can argue whether it's right or wrong, whatever they're doing. But I think at this point, you got to figure out a way to push through it. If you want to play football, and it seems like the American, East Carolina, the ACC, Big 12, SEC, they want to play football. So unless it becomes an overwhelming positive test situation for COVID-19, it seems they're going to do the best to handle it. And if they have to pause, they have to pause, and then they're going to try to figure out a way to restart things and try to play football.
Ellerbe, speaking of playing football, I put up a poll question on Sunday or over the weekend. I can't remember if it was yesterday or Saturday. But regarding ECU football, I've got a button that you can press, and if you press the button, football as you know it will be played. You'll have the amazing crowds in the stands. You'll have the bands, the pageantry, all of that.
Football as we know it from when?
Pre-2020.
Pre-2020.
Yep.
So 2019 football?
Football, yes, okay. College football. The way you know
college football or ECU football?
College football.
Okay,
college football.
College football. All teams.
A normal college football season.
Normal.
If you press the button.
All right.
Now the only catch is if you press that button, East Carolina will be coached by 2 co-head coaches. Scotty Montgomery will run the offense. John Thompson will run the defense. Do you push that button?
So maybe I misread the poll question online, or I thought you had to have one of those guys as your head coaches, or go back to that previous. So you go back to the 3-20 2-year stint with John Thompson.
No, here's the exact reading,
or the 9-27 run with Scotty Moe, but it's completely different. So you're saying they're co-coaches. Let's hear the question as is.
I have a button you can press that will guarantee a normal college football season: games, fans, bands, pageantry, all of it. The only catch is ECU will be led by co-head coaches Scotty Montgomery and John Thompson. Do you push the button?
Yeah, I'd push it, and I feel like a Thompson Scotty Moe offense defense deal. I'm maybe I'm just being optimistic and wanting.
You are way too optimistic. You are delirious at this point.
You think so?
No, obviously you push the button.
Yes.
I cannot believe out of 363 votes, only 25% would push the button.
Gosh.
75% said no. And now this tells me something that I've kind of seen. A lot of people that are ECU fans are only ECU fans. They don't watch a lot of other college football or other sports. They go to Dowdy-Ficklin Stadium, they watch their Pirates, and then they go on about the rest of their lives.
Sure.
I, on the other hand, watch every game possible from noon to midnight. After the 5th quarter, I go home and watch the Mountain West or Pac-12 or whatever's on. So I want any kind of football I can get. I guess the question is no football better than bad football? And to a lot of people, that answer was yes, apparently.
Was it the Scotty Montgomery, John Thompson hang up there? It just maybe that's what people thought.
It's got to be. Well,
it was so bad that they just loved East Carolina football so much, and that it just ruined the experience for them, that they can't even fathom that everybody else would have awesome football and East Carolina would be stuck suffering perhaps again under just there were some really bad bad games during those years.
I recall, and somebody pointed out too that those bad games make for pretty interesting fifth quarters. So you even got that aspect of it. That maybe bad football, which I don't like it, nobody likes it, but it does make for some pretty rowdy fifth quarter call-in shows, Ellerbe.
So yeah, I mean that's true, but I mean it's not. We don't program the fifth quarter based on we do the fifth quarter regardless.
We take whatever we get.
Look, and you said it 1,000 times. I've told it 1,000 times to people that advertise with us or whoever I talk to that listen to us. Look, the UNC fifth quarter call-in show when we scored 70 points and took over 70 some calls is 10 times more fun than the North Carolina A&T loss.
Absolutely.
I mean,
it's more fun for me, for the callers, for Shirley, for everybody.
Yeah, and I said if we lost to A&T, it would have been epic on the fifth quarter, and boy, it was a meltdown epic one. But yeah, absolutely. So I agree with you. I'm the same way, Clip. I enjoy, because East Carolina obviously has a variety of start times, but able to get home and catch that 3:30 CBS SEC game, or after the East Carolina game if it's at the same time, catching that 8 o'clock primetime game on ESPN. So I mean, I would. It's going to be interesting, how the season plays out, what time the games are, and then watching the games in empty stadiums. And then I think the weird part, just because attendance has been, very off at East Carolina football lately, but tuning into that SEC game at the Swamp or in Tuscaloosa and not seeing their fans, seeing the stadium empty, that's going to be interesting when we get to that point.
I'm used to it now, watching the NBA bubble or the Stanley Cup playoffs or Major League Baseball with no fans. It's going to be pretty jarring, at least to start the football season. Now, on that note, as far as fans go, Shirley, do you have your? Now we've asked Shirley to keep lists daily. First, it was schools and conferences dropping out of football. Then it became schedule updates daily. Now we've got the list of what teams and schools and even pro teams are going to do with fans this year. So, Shirley, what have we learned today regarding the fans?
Oh, well, I can tell you that this sheet is long. So let's start with the adjusting of the schedules and additions. Western Kentucky has moved their game against Chattanooga to October 24th. The Army will host Citadel on October 10th, Middle Tennessee on September 5th. So that will be another September 5th game for you to watch.
That is now 4 Thursday night games?
Yes, that makes 4 of them.
Next week?
They've also added UTSA for October 17th. So that gives Army a total of 11 games for their season.
And by the way, they will not need to go to their buddies at the Air Force for a plane because they are playing
8 home games.
8 home games this year?
That's awesome.
Not a bad gig for the Armed Forces.
Jacksonville State added Mercer October 10th and North Alabama October 17th. Stephen F. Austin has added West Texas A&M October 3rd.
Love it.
Rice, that game that was scheduled for September 26th has now been canceled. North Dakota State is now going to play 1 game only, and they will host Central Arkansas on a non-con game October 3rd.
So lame that the FBS boys won't let North Dakota State get a shot at them.
Won't play them, huh?
Nah.
They beat Kansas State.
They're scared of it,
they've won some games.
Their quarterback, North Dakota State's quarterback, is highly touted as one of the quarterbacks that's going to be a first-round pick.
Yeah, Carson Wentz. Yep.
Yeah. And Austin Peay will take on Central Arkansas. That is going to be the first football game coming up on Saturday.
And I tell you what, Friday, we're doing a Bud Light pregame tailgate for Austin Peay, Central Arkansas.
Why don't you reach out to their play-by-play guy?
All right. We'll see if we can get somebody on the phone.
Yeah, and that will be televised. It'll be on ESPN. So those are the additions as far as schedule.
Is on this Saturday night, folks.
But you're happy, man.
Are you not?
Yes, I am. I mean, we
got to have the first game to get to ECU football.
Sure.
I need to see teams on the field. I need to see Let's Go P versus Central Arkansas this Saturday on ESPN.
All right, now here's the list as far as fan attendance go. This is what we've been kind of keeping an eye on. We'll start with the college stuff first. Cincinnati and Duke, there will be no fans for their fall competition. Cincinnati's going to, at least for now, their home games, no fans. That may change over the course of the season if it allows. The Charlotte Georgia State game scheduled for September 26th. There will be no fans allowed at that game.
That is where? At Charlotte?
It's at Charlotte.
Okay, ECU does play at Georgia State.
Yeah, and then
year.
Georgia Southern is going to allow a 25% capacity in their stadium. Louisville is planning to try to have 18,000 fans for their home games. And then for the NFL, the latest news coming out today, the city of Miami will allow up to 13,000 fans for Dolphin games. And the city of Cleveland announced today that they are banning fans from tailgating prior to Cleveland Browns games.
All right,
so that's what we've got so far.
More on tailgating in just a moment. But Georgia Southern, Ellerbe, is somewhat interesting. They're going to allow some fans. Does that mean that potentially when ECU goes to the TED, to Turner Field, to take on Georgia State, does that mean that game will have fans in attendance?
Well, that's Georgia Southern, right?
Yeah.
Georgia Southern and Georgia State, two different deals.
Yeah.
So,
but they're in the same state, which is why I'm asking.
Right, and I wonder, is Georgia Southern a private school, or they use that a public school?
I want to say public, but I do know they're in a much more rural area.
It's interesting to me. What was the Louisville number? 18,000, Shirley?
Yes, 18,000.
Because Louisville's trying to shoot for 18,000 at their football game, which just across the way at the Kentucky Derby on Labor Day Saturday.
Yeah, no fans. By the way, Georgia Southern is a public school.
Okay. So Georgia State, Georgia Southern. I don't know how Georgia State draws at the TED.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how they draw. It's will they allow fans in? And if so, Pirate fans who want to watch their team play in person
can go to Atlanta.
Might have a chance to go to Atlanta and see it happen.
Yes. That is a possibility because I don't.
Why am I the positive, optimistic one, Ellerbe? It's supposed to be you.
Yeah, I'm positive. I'm just trying to think through all this. I didn't think I was going to be talking about Georgia Southern here on the radio. I was trying to figure it out. But yeah, that could be an interesting prospect because I don't believe there's going to be any fans in the stands for the September 12th game for Marshall.
Nah.
I think some players' families might be in there, and then some people in the towers or in the luxury areas will probably be able to sit. But
really, you think that might be a possibility?
I think because they could deem that was through private money, that they can spread out some people through there.
Does Pirate Radio have a box?
We have a seat, perhaps, in the press box.
Can I interest you in a seat in the press box?
Credential clip?
I don't think that we're going to be allowed up there.
And to me, I don't understand. To me, I was talking here today. If they're only going to Zoom the post game press conferences with coaches and players, there's really no point for the media to be there. Because you can watch it on TV. And you can rewind it. You can. I
agree for the most part. Technically, you could see if a guy goes out with injury. You can see what happens. He goes to the sideline, or does he go to the tunnel? And you can see some other things. Mike Houston is chewing out Holt Nailers.
Right.
But to your point, I agree. I tend to agree.
That is true. Maybe some media there. You swayed me.
But I don't think there will be.
No,
personally.
So it's going to be, if they can just play. I think that would give a lot of people excitement.
Yes.
To look forward to some things coming up. If Clip Brock can nearly wet his pants on over Austin Peay in Central Arkansas, then what time is that kickoff again?
New shirt you can buy. I'm peeing for P, something like that. Shirley said that's an evening game, right?
Yes, 8 p.m. Central Time.
It's going to be the most watched FCS game in history.
Yes. Bigger than any championship games they've ever had.
Yeah, because those are on 11 a.m. start time or something on Saturday. So this is going to be great. Ellerbe, get on board.
I'm on board. You got me. 8 o'clock this Saturday. I'm in.
I just need a line so Wager McGee and I can talk about it for an hour on Wednesday.
I'm sure that'll happen.
All right, so there's your scheduling news, your fans in the stands news. There was some tailgating news regarding the press conference yesterday with Ron Mitchelson, Ellerbe. No tailgating at Dowdy Ficklin Stadium until otherwise known, or for the whole year? What was the...
I think it's probably just like anything till further notice.
Yeah.
So I do want to give interim chancellor Ron Mitchelson huge props. He's been an unbelievable leader during some of the toughest times in the history of East Carolina University, and he's done an unbelievable job, and I think he should be commended. I wish there was a way that they could take the interim tag off of him and give him the permanent position at East Carolina, because his demeanor, his professionalism, everything, his communication and honesty and transparency, it's been really good. I mean, he's been very good for East Carolina University, and things are extremely tough, and I know he's extremely stressed, and he's running the university aspect of it too, not just athletics, not just the tailgating and football stuff. He's got how many thousands of students and people that just moved their freshman sons and daughters into dorm rooms and all this other stuff. So I mean, really kudos to the job that guy has done, and the communication aspect. He's been great, phoning in or coming in person here on Pirate Radio, having the press conference yesterday. So but the tailgating thing, it's just that makes sense. I mean, it just they just don't want to. I don't think they want to encourage. Just crowds aren't a cool thing right now, and as we've seen, the crowds can get out of hand. And I think what Morgan had the line on Friday, that maybe East Carolina students are doing good by only having 400 people at a party, because there usually
would have been 800 to
usually it would have been like triple that, if it had just gotten out. So so that's, we just all have to be patient and try to see what happens.
And boy, how fast can things change? Last Monday, we have Ron Mitchelson on, and we're talking about the North Carolina Chapel Hill news for them to go undergrad, and then midweek, State decides to do the same. And we talked to Ron Mitchelson on Friday's show, and everything is okay. And then all of a sudden, boom, and now boom, we have more bad news.
We just got an ECU campus alert. And it says additional COVID-19 clusters have been identified on campus. So additional clusters have been identified other than the ones that we have seen over the weekend. So as soon as that we get additional information, we'll let you know.
I'm not trying to make light of the situation, but when you say like clusters on campus, do you remember when people used to walk around with their phones looking for Pokemon?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's like,
pretty much.
I found a cluster of Pokemon.
So, that's interesting news. So we'll obviously continue to follow that as the latest.
All right, and I guess, I don't know, we're waiting to hear something from athletics, which you think we will coming up maybe in the next couple of days regarding hopefully ECU getting back on the practice field.
Yeah, John Gilbert's going to be on the program later this week, but I would expect some sort of news or information out there by Tuesday or Wednesday. And really the big there's a lot of things they need to get out. One, when is the team going to restart and practicing? And then number two, the other question, the big news that I get out there is people want to know about season tickets at this point. They sold over 10,000 season tickets, and are they going to allow fans in, or they're not? They've already lost a game with Norfolk State, so there's at least a one game refund opportunity there, unless they add a game between now and then, which in this crazy world that could happen.
It looks like ECU's standing pat, but every day we get new games added to the schedule for this fall across the country.
Sure.
So you never know.
And the other thing to keep an eye on too, Marshall football, because it takes two to tango.
Yeah.
So obviously they need to continue, and I don't think they've gone online only as well. So we just got to continue to monitor everything.
Okay, we just got, I'm actually looking at Chandler's phone right now. He just received an email, and it says that additional clusters within 2 residence halls, the individuals have been identified, and they're working closely with Pitt County. There are currently 6 positive cases related to Jones Hall and 6 positive cases related to Whitehall. So those are the latest, and it looks like they have identified the folks, and they have been, moved into quarantine. But that is the latest information we have in terms of the ECU campus alert that got sent out.
All right. Thank you. We have up-to-date news with Shirley Rhodes each and every day here on Pirate Radio Live, good and bad. We have a theme for the good, a theme for the bad, so you kind of know what's coming. You don't have to be freaked out by it. Ellerbe had a question from Josh. No tailgating on ECU property was the wording. What does that mean for Elmhurst, is Josh's question.
This is just Jonathan Ellerbe talking, not talking for obviously ECU Athletics, but the Pirate Club, I believe, rents the Elmhurst property. And my guess is that is going to be under the umbrella of no tailgating.
Yeah. I would assume so.
And especially since it's state property as well, or city property, so it's that there's just not going to be any tailgating opportunities. The best thing to do is to have a small group of friends at your house, and tweet and text with Clip, because he's going to be following and listen to our pregame and postgame.
Absolutely. We have a tailgate party for you on the radio every Saturday before kickoff.
And look, we've redone our studio to make it even more awesome, where you can watch Clip Brock.
That's right.
On game day Saturdays or game day whatever days.
I'm excited, Ellerbe. I just need it to happen.
I'm expecting
But if it does, we're going to have a freaking awesome season on the Bud Light pregame tailgate.
I'm expecting a Austin P Central Arkansas update on Friday at this point. And I do believe, and I need to do, didn't John Thompson come from, or was it Central Arkansas at some point? He was an Arkansas person. So was Central Arkansas a part of his previous or post East Carolina stop? So that could be, I know you were really high on Austin P, but you may want to go the Central Arkansas route
He graduated from Central Arkansas.
See? Boom. That could have been on Clip Sports Trivia.
What a turn of events there.
See, he's like the Kevin Bacon of East Carolina. I mean, it's just degrees of separation right there, Clip. What do you think?
If I get John Thompson on the show Friday, can I get some kind of like financial bonus or raise or anything?
I think that could be a big.
Okay. I'm going to work to get John Thompson on Pirate Radio.
You know, Scotty Montgomery's not busy right now. The Big Ten has been canceled. You want to reach out to him?
Our final note of the day, before we let you go here, Ellerbe, of this segment, Shirley's favorite new topic, the top 25 poll is out. What? What's wrong, Shirley?
Freaking top 25 preseason
Ohio State's
poll.
number 2 in the nation.
I saw that.
And they're not playing football this year.
Yeah.
In fact, half the teams in the top 25 are not playing football
Does that tell you all that you need to know about how messed up the world of college football is?
Yeah.
Now, they're saying that the next AP poll that comes out is going to eliminate all of those schools that are not going to be participating. However, what's the point of a preseason top 25 if you're going to include schools that aren't playing? That makes absolutely no sense whatsoever.
They want to say these schools that we're about to add, they're not really top 25 material.
Was it just clickbait? Being like, hey, you got to put Michigan and Ohio State in there. We got to get some articles, clicked on here.
Oregon and Washington and all the Pac-12 and,
I mean, Ohio State fans are pissed because they're sitting at number 2 behind Clemson, and
like
they think this is their year.
Well, this is salt in the wound for them to see this right now.
And here's the thing. Will they? Did you say they will drop out next week?
Well, they said...
or will they just drop to number 10?
According to the tweet that I saw from the Associated Press was... Next week, when the AP or when the season starts, when the
after
season
this
starts,
Austin P Central Arkansas game,
then
we're gonna have to reevaluate.
And get this: the college football playoff system is not going to include, when they do their rankings to do the national championship, it's not going to include any of the schools that are moving their teams to the season, moving their seasons to the
that aren't playing.
Thank you.
To the spring?
Yeah.
Is that what you were looking for?
I'd like to buy a vowel, apparently. But no, that's what I'm saying. So, the college football landscape may look a little different. But as far as the preseason polls, it makes no sense to include schools that are not going to play at all.
No.
It would be so East Carolina to start 6-0, and then Ohio State still be number 25 at 0-0, and East Carolina just be receiving votes right outside the top 25.
Now, speaking of the AAC, though, Cincinnati and UCF both are in the top 25
with all the teams. So that's a good sign.
That is a good sign. But it doesn't make any sense to have. And I think I counted something like 8 or 9 schools that are in that top 25. They're not playing their season.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm excited to see a poll with like 4 AAC teams, App State, Troy, like teams like that in the top 25. I think that would be cool.
It would be refreshing.
Yeah, something different.
Truly refreshing. And can a team get hot this year and from the American and make something? Because they can get into the top 10 a lot faster.
Yeah,
or get into the top 10 really.
Yep.
Which would be special.
Ellerbe, enjoyed it.
Yeah, enjoyed it. We'll be back on Tuesday. Going to have a special guest. First Pirate Radio podcast guest was Damon West. He's the author and motivational speaker. He goes around and talks to college football teams. He's been at the University of Tennessee and then South Florida from the American this past week, and wanted to get his perspective this time, not about his life and his books, but what his visits was like to those two campuses, what those football teams are going to. So we're going to catch up with Damon West on Tuesday afternoon at 4 o'clock. So, Joy, I'll be back. You get a little double dose of Ellerbe and Clip Brock this week.
Good stuff. Ellerbe, thanks for hanging out. We will take a time out, come back, and talk to our buddy Todd Graffagnini, the former Crazy Tulane announcer, now the voice of the New Orleans Pelicans. He was in the bubble, and now he's out of the bubble, and might have some weather coming his way as well down there in Nolens, Louisiana. We'll talk to Graff when we return on Pirate Radio Live after this.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is Tom Brown from Brown & Wood Buick GMC Truck. We've been serving the Pirate Nation in Eastern North Carolina for 83 years. We have 4 brands, 3 generations, 2 showrooms, and 1 goal to make sure you leave a happy customer.
This month at Brown & Wood is employee pricing on all Buicks and GMC SUVs, including Canyon, with the purchase and lease options. Remember, Brown & Wood is the home for the lifetime powertrain warranty for all makes and models.
We're located on Greenville Boulevard next to the Convention Center, or shop us online at brownandwoodauto.com.
How much does the word reliable mean? Sure, all businesses describe themselves as reliable, and we certainly wouldn't expect any business to be unreliable, but when you take a word like reliable and make it your way of life, the entire core of your business, it tends to mean a little more. And it's something you have to show people, not tell them. At Delcor, we show it by being there the same day you call. We show it by simply doing outstanding work with exceptional products, a family-oriented work ethic, and genuine caring for all of our neighbors throughout Eastern NC, because in a time of need, we know the first and the only thing you need is someone you can count on. That's why we only use equipment you can count on too, like a train comfort system. It's hard to stop a train. Delcor can have a new train comfort system installed in no time, or we can provide an AC tune-up to make sure your system is performing well. So will your system keep you cool all summer? Find out. Call us. We're Delcor, the service professionals. Reliable for over 4 decades. Visit DelcorInc.com today.
This is Dr. Phil Perdue with Orthopedics East and Sports Medicine Center. My colleagues and I recognize how difficult this time is for everyone in our community. We continue to see patients during the week while taking precautions to keep everyone safe. Our extended care clinic is now open on Saturdays and Sundays from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. so you can avoid the emergency department for your urgent orthopedic care. For more information, please contact us at 757-2663 or visit our website at orthoeast.com.
Have you ever seen those exotic aquariums like the guys do in Las Vegas on television? You ever thought about having one of these aquariums in your business? It's more affordable than you think. This is Hal Pruitt with rentafishtank.com. We can make having an aquarium in your business turnkey with no work, cleaning, or hassles for you. Rentafishtank.com creates a relaxing atmosphere and keeps children occupied. Rentafishtank.com already services many dental, pediatric, and doctor offices, plus hospitals and senior living centers. Check us out at rentafishtank.com.
When you can take your eye off a big pizza pie, that's familiar.
How does a hot pizza and a 6-pack of beer sound right about now? How about if it was only $20? Take advantage of the Familia Saturday and Sunday special of a large one-topping pizza and a 6-pack of Pitt Street beer for only $20. Call 689-6330 and then pick it up at the drive-thru window. Need a job? Good news. Familia is now hiring servers, bartenders, and hostesses. Familia, Fire Tower Road near Pitt Community College, and FamiliaNC.com.
I'm Dan Forrest, and I'm running for governor. Here's the simple truth. People need to work to live, so open the economy. Elderly people are dying of COVID, so protect the nursing homes. Kids need to be in school so they can learn, and parents can work, so open the schools. Our state needs a governor who has a plan beyond staying shut down forever. So elect Dan Forrest for governor. It's that simple. Paid for by the Committee to elect Dan Forrest.
Looking for your next career opportunity or even just some extra cash to help pay for school? Your locally owned Dixon Foods McDonald's is hiring across Eastern North Carolina. They offer flexible hours, competitive pay, and even financial support to pursue your education through McDonald's Archways to Opportunity program. With plans to provide more than 100 new jobs currently, we hope you'll visit DixonFoods.com to learn more. Dixon Foods, proud to be your locally owned and locally operated franchisee for McDonald's.
Hi, this is Phil Steele of Phil Steele's College Football Preview Magazine, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 1 of Pirate Radio Live. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Orthopedics East and Sports Medicine Center of Greenville's new extended care clinic is now open Saturday and Sundays from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. so you can avoid the emergency department for any urgent orthopedics care. For more information, call 757-2663 or visit orthoeast.com. Orthopedics East, providing services to Eastern North Carolina and the Pirate Nation for more than 35 years. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Brock.
All right. Thank you very much, Shirley Rhodes. Got Chan Man, intern Chandler, Honeycutt, running the Off Days show. We'll talk some NBA playoffs a little later on and go over some lines with the big man on campus, Jeff Nadu, coming up in the next hour. Right now, the Magic were putting a scare into the Bucks, but the Bucks have opened things up here in the fourth quarter. 15-2 run to start the fourth, and they lead by 16 now with 9 minutes left to go, 99-83 over the Orlando Magic. The next guest on the Pirate Radio Live line, the Fixed NC Live line, was calling some bubble action and is outside the bubble as the New Orleans Pelicans were eliminated from playoff contention a while back. He is our old friend Todd Graffagnini joining us on the Fixed NC Live line. Graff, how you doing, man?
Clip, what's going on? I'm doing what every New Orleanian is doing right now, watching Panic Television, a.k.a. the Weather Channel, just to see what's going on the next few days. So it looks like we dodged one bullet, but we got another one coming in a couple days. Everybody from New Orleans, just in case you haven't figured that one out by now. But yeah, it's...
I don't know how
of the year, man.
I don't know how much folks in Greenville and New Orleans have in common, but that is one thing, Todd. It's tracking storms and knowing everything there is to know without knowing really anything about hurricanes. We've already experienced one this year, and the season is not over yet. So, yeah, we're thinking about you and the folks down there, Todd. And yeah, man, that's a crazy situation with a couple of storms down there right beside each other. So, interesting deal. Hope you make it out of it safe.
Thank you, man, but it's 2020.
That's a good point.
Par for the course.
So Graff, you're a bit of an interesting fella. So your first season with the New Orleans Pelicans went about par for the course, right? You knew it wouldn't be normal and easy. It was a little different for you, right?
What a rookie year, huh? Took 11 months. It's funny because I consider the beginning of my NBA career was last September when we went up to New Jersey, which is basically right across the Hudson River from Manhattan, to the NBA broadcast meetings. And there you just kind of meet and greet, and you see all your peers and, you know, your fellow radio play-by-play guys and TV guys, and you sit in groups for a couple days and you go over ideas of what's going to happen. So I really considered that the start of my NBA career, and I had no idea that the ending of my first year in the NBA was going to be in August of the next year, but that's exactly what happened. It took 11 months to finish. Yeah, man, it was wild. And look, I'll never forget it. Obviously, not a lot of people will. You know, the tough part about it, look, I understand that there was a pandemic. Okay, I get it. The really tough part about the whole deal, though, Clip, was that the Pelicans were really playing good basketball prior to when the league shut down on March 11th. And I've done a lot of, we actually continued doing our Pelicans weekly shows, and we've done a couple post-season ending shows. And we interviewed Derek Favors, and we interviewed J.J. Redick on our final show. And there's no doubt in either of those guys' minds if the season would have just continued and finished out the way it was supposed to. We had 19 games left, and we're 3.5 out with 2 games against Memphis, who, by the way, we did not lose to this year. We're 3-0. We had 2 games left against Sacramento, including the night that the season got shut down on March 11th. We had 3 games left with the San Antonio Spurs. Those were teams we were directly going up against to battle Memphis, who was in that 8th spot originally. And the way the Pelicans were projecting at that time, Clip, you know, we were healthy. our starting five was really starting to hit its stride because Zion had played 19, and I'm talking about Zion Williamson in case all you people in North Carolina don't know that. Zion was really finally getting back into where he was playing 32 to 35 minutes a night, and it was just, the trend was upwards, and then boom, it was over. And then, you take 4 months off, and when the team came back in the bubble, and by the way, Clip, full disclosure, I was not in the bubble. No broadcasters for any team was in the bubble.
You were in an empty arena, right?
I was in the Smoothie King Center, and again, pretty much every broadcast team in the NBA was doing exactly what we were doing. We had our radio set up where we would normally broadcast a game, and our TV guys, Joel Myers and Antonio Daniels, were where they would be, courtside, broadcasting games, and that's how we did it.
Yeah.
And look, it's not an ideal situation, but we made it work. And I guess the biggest compliment that we received during those 8 games were that you couldn't tell that we weren't there, which is, kind of what you want to hear. But, getting back to my long-winded point, if the season would have continued, I don't think there's any doubt that the Pelicans would have made it, but they lost all the momentum and really played poorly in the bubble, just going 2-6, and ultimately, even though David Griffin mentioned a couple of Saturdays ago when this happened, the head coach, Alvin Gentry, was relieved of duty. So it's going to be a very interesting off-season here. We're in the off-season, and how long that goes, we still don't know. When the season's going to start, we still don't know. What we do know is the finals are going to end mid-October, and after that, it's anyone's guess as to what's going to happen. So
yeah,
we'll see. But yeah, it's been an interesting 11 months.
Yeah, Todd, where are, and I guess we aren't really anywhere on the start of the next NBA season. They're going to, I guess, push back the early December talk that they were going to start it then, and I don't know. I've seen rumors of possibly starting like in March. So I mean, it could be any time between December and March, I guess. But what is the talk amongst you NBA folks on when the next season could begin? Is it kind of still up in the air?
Well, I thought December 1st, when that was thrown out, a couple of months ago, even before the bubble game started, I thought that was really, really ambitious. And here's the bottom line, Clip. We got to get people back in arenas for the NBA to really be successful. Now, look, what they have done in the bubble and the planning and the protocols that have gone into the bubble, and that's another word that's going to be a word of 2020 is bubble. But what they have done is nothing short of remarkable, Clip.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, and I think it came out again today that still no positive tests have happened in the bubble. But I'm telling you, a lot of that has to do with the planning, but all of it has to do with the players. And you've got to give those guys a huge tip of the cap because they have taken this seriously. Now, I know there have been a couple of outliers, most specifically the Lou Williams situation when he decided to get some wings in Atlanta, but he left the bubble for a legitimate reason. I think peer pressure there has to be unbelievable in the sense that, look, if one guy messes it up for everybody else, you're going to be a pariah, much like Rudy Gobert was the pariah on March 11th when all of this stopped. I mean, we were in we were in Sacramento that night getting ready to play the Kings when everything shut down, and Rudy Gobert was literally the face of sports stopping, like all of sports.
Yeah.
So I don't think anybody wants that on their head. But look, I actually played golf with Alvin Gentry a couple of days ago, one day after he was relieved of duty. I've actually played a lot of rounds of golf with Alvin Gentry over the last few months, and he said it was really fine. They had 3 golf courses that are all at all of their disposal. They've got other activities that they can do. They can go on boats. They can go fishing. And there's really nobody that can get in or out if you are not on that list. And it is a very, very tight list. And they have followed it to the T. and that's why there haven't been any positive tests. It's really remarkable. But if we get into this situation next year, Clip, and again, we're going back to the original question, it's going to be much more difficult because now you're going to have all the teams, and how are you going to split them up in the bubble situations, and you're playing 82 games. We played 8 games, okay? We played 8 games. We weren't in the playoffs, and the Pelicans left. Now, there have been a couple of teams eliminated from the playoffs. The teams that are going to finish the entire, we're going to go through October. But I just think the bottom line out of all this is they want to get people back in arenas. And until there are people back in arenas, I think we're going to be, I don't want to use the word doomed, but I think that's what it is. I mean, I think we're going to be in a bubble type of situation, which means as a broadcaster, I'm not going to be able to travel with the team. No other broadcasters are going to be able to go, and we're going to have to do games remotely like we've done. Once they start letting people back in, I think that's when you're going to see some sense of normalcy around the NBA.
Yeah, talking to Todd Graff.
And I don't think that's good. It's not going to be December 1st.
Right.
That I can tell you.
Yeah, talking to Todd Graffagnini on the Fixed NC Live line. Todd, I don't know what you know, and even if you know what you can say, but I got to ask you, a lot of people came down on Alvin Gentry for the lack of minutes. We saw Zion Williamson in some of those games, especially in crunch time. I mean, was Gentry himself hamstrung on what he could do with Zion? Did he make the ultimate call on when he was on the court?
I'll tell you right now, anybody who came down on Alvin Gentry because of that is severely misinformed. Yeah. Coach Gentry did exactly what the medical team of the Pelicans told him to do. And that's the bottom line. And look, anybody who watched those games could tell that Zion was not in the best condition.
Yeah.
And it's really, really tough because when that team got on the plane from New Orleans to the bubble, he arguably was in the best shape that he had been in since he came to New Orleans last July. And obviously he had to leave because of a family medical emergency. And when you're 20 years old and you're still a big, look, I've never called him a fat. I just think he's a really big kid. And when you're 20 years old and you don't continue your conditioning, because he mentioned when he got back to the bubble that he did not do anything basketball related. And he was gone for 9 days and then had to quarantine for 4 more before he went back and worked out with the team. So the 13 days he was away from the team and not be able to work out or do anything really, really hurt him. And he just, he never really recovered conditioning wise. And again, it's just an unfortunate thing, but it absolutely wasn't Alvin Gentry's decision to play him because look, Alvin Gentry's an old school coach, man. I mean, he'd throw Zion out there and say, good, just go play.
Yeah.
But if you recall, that's what happened when Zion came back on January 22nd. Zion Williamson scored 19 points in 5 minutes, and Gentry had to call timeout to take him out of the game because he had went over his minutes restriction for that night because it was this first game back. So they look, and I don't blame them one bit. They have handled Zion with kid gloves from the very beginning. And they should. They did it when he had his knee injury. They brought him back very, very slowly. And as I mentioned, it all worked out because on March 11th, he was playing 32 to 35 minutes a night, and he had just finished a back-to-back, which they said he was not going to do post-surgery. He had actually played 30-plus minutes in a back-to-back situation. So he was getting where they wanted him to be, and then those 13 days away from the bubble took all that away.
Graff, a couple more questions. I need to ask you about an Eastern North Carolina native, Brandon Ingram, and how much he grew this past season. What was it like interacting with him, and how much of a joy was it for you to be able to watch him night in and night out?
Fantastic. First of all, fantastic kid. And I say kid, I mean, it's really, it's difficult to comprehend, and I guess I'm fortunate that I was in college athletics for 27 years. But the majority of the team, the majority of the New Orleans Pelicans would be college kids right now. It's unbelievable. We're talking 23 and under for half of them. So that's why Pelicans fans are so excited about the future, because the core is so young, and Brandon Ingram is absolutely part of that core. He's a restricted free agent, but we've heard from David Griffin way back in January, December, that there was no way that they were going to let Brandon Ingram out of the building. He is in line, and I think it'd be a crime if he did not get most improved player, because he has just shot up his numbers across the board in everything, especially what he did shooting threes. His points per game were at just shy of 25. He improved his free throw percentage 20 percentage points. He was an 86% free throw shooter this year, Clip, and just so humble. He's really, really quiet, but, he just represented the team. And it's funny, we were 6-22 at one point. We'd lost 13 games in a row, and I shudder to think where we would have been if Brandon Ingram wasn't carrying the team every night, scoring, his 25 a game. And, of course, it really culminated in the duel against the Jazz when he went for 49 and Donovan Mitchell went for 45, and B.I. hit what we thought was a game-winning shot with 0.2 of a second before the refs decided to intervene and call a phantom foul on Jackson Hayes against Rudy Gobert, and the Pelicans actually won in overtime that night. But, here's the best part about Ingram, Clip, is that he wants the ball when the game is on the line. He is not afraid to take the shot. As a matter of fact, off the top of my head, he took 4 of them this year, where, either you miss and the game's over, you make and you win. And it happened in the bubble. Unfortunately, he missed the last shot against Utah. But you know what? You've got to want to take the shot. And he wants to take the shot, and that's half the battle.
Pelicans are a fun young team. They have a fun, youngish broadcaster in Todd Graffagnini. Todd, before we let you go, you've got, of course, Tulane. LSU said to play football. I guess those Sun Belt schools in Louisiana are going to give it a go as well. What's the talk around there, Todd, about college football in the fall of 2020 when it comes to schools from Louisiana and Tulane specifically?
Well, yeah, so far everything's a go. Look, Tulane has done a fantastic job as far as keeping their kids in, a semi-bubble. And I was listening to you and Ellerbe before I went on, and I heard Shirley's update about the breakouts in Greenville on campus. And that's the thing you've got to be wary. The students just got back last week, and when you have that type of situation, that's when the eyebrows go up a little bit, because how do you keep the guys on the football team from interacting with the regular student body who are, ready to go to the boot on a Friday night and, just do what college kids do. So that's the concern. But so far, I have not heard anything as far as Tulane goes that they're having any type of issues with that as far as positive tests. And they've been practicing now for a couple of weeks. So, LSU's doing a good job. Of course, they had their major outbreak way back a couple of months ago when they started to practice. So I guess they got it out of the way. But so far, so good in South Louisiana. People are, taking it seriously. And it's hard to believe that in 3 weeks, 3 weeks from yesterday, that the Saints are going to play the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Brady versus Breeze.
Superdome.
Yes.
Yeah, with nobody in the stands. Can you believe that?
That's going to be weird.
The greatest home schedule in the history of the New Orleans Saints in my lifetime, and no one's going to be in the stands at least, for the first game. Our home schedule is unparalleled. It is insane, Clip. I just hope that there's some people in to see it because, man, it is going to be tough. And you're talking about Kansas City and Minnesota and San Francisco and Green Bay. That's
wow.
the home schedule.
Yeah.
Besides the division games, so I just hope people get in there because this is more than likely Breeze's last year, and what a send-off if nobody's there to see it.
Man, yeah, that is an awesome lineup of games there in the Superdome. Hopefully, folks can go see them. I need to get a podcast, Todd, just to see how long I can get you to talk, but we're up against a break here, so
I'm not Bobby Hebert.
I gotta let you go. Thank you so much for joining us, Todd. Great to catch up with you, man. We'll do it again soon, and y'all stay safe down there.
Anytime, Cliff. Thanks, man.
All right, there he is, the man, Todd Graffagnini, joining us on the Fixed NC Live line, talking a little NBA, a little college football as well, and he's ready for his Saints, his Dodgers, of course, playing well this year, so not a bad time to be Todd Graffagnini. All right, we'll take a timeout, come back, wrap up hour number 1, get you set for hour number 2 of Pirate Radio Live after this.
Greenville has the highest quality CBD products in the country. Your CBD store is the first and only brand that carries USDA certified organic products such as gummies, honey sticks, and high absorption water soluble liquids, which are all made in the United States. They even offer products for your pet. The educated staff will help you answer any questions, and you can stop in Ample. Your CBD store, locally owned and operated, open Monday through Saturday, 10 to 6, right beside Duck Donuts in Greenville.
This is Martin Truex Jr., and as a NASCAR Cup Series champion, I love one-stop shopping. When I need fresh tires or fuel during a race, my pit crew takes care of everything. Off the track, I have an Auto Owners independent agent. They handle all my insurance in one place: car, home, life, and business. Get your own pit crew and find a local agency with Auto Owners Insurance.
This is Brian Smith with Town Insurance in Greenville. Call me today at 756-8300. Go Pirates!
Are your workouts more fun than this? Well, if they are, then I want to sign you to an endorsement deal with Michelob Ultra. I'm looking for anyone and everyone who makes working out a blast. If that's you, head to TeamUltra.com for a chance to score awesome perks like Team Ultra gear and more. That's TeamUltra.com to enter.
No purchase necessary. Open U.S. residents 21 plus. See official rules at TeamUltra.com. Message and data rates may apply. Void where prohibited. Enjoy responsibly. AB Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Ahoy, mateys! To keep those cars clean, you need the Pirates Cove Fast Pass.
The new Pirates Cove Car Wash on 10th Street is now open. The 10th Street location is offering Fast Passes for $9.99 for new Fast Pass customers. These Fast Passes will be good at all 3 Greenville locations. Visit us on Fire Tower Road, Memorial Drive, and now on East 10th Street. And coming soon, Haviland Express Lube and Pirates Cove Car Wash in New Bern.
So we have you surrounded. Pirates Cove, the official car wash partner of ECU Athletics.
The Frells family lives on a lush piece of land called greener pasture, and they work on it behind the wheel of a John Deere 1 Series tractor. With its durable construction and features that hook up to dozens of attachments with ease, no job is too tough. The Frells family runs with us, because this is more than just land, it's home. Nothing runs like a Deere. Search John Deere 1 Series for more.
Get quality at every turn with Quality Equipment, your local John Deere dealer, with 27 locations in North Carolina and southeastern Virginia. Find out more at QualityEquip.com. Hey Pirate fans, the Papa John's menu has grown again with the all-new grilled buffalo chicken papadilla. The papadillas are part sandwich, part pizza, and are only $6. Choose from the all-new grilled buffalo chicken, Philly cheesesteak, Italian, pepperoni meatball, and barbecue chicken and bacon, all for only $6 each. Also for a limited time, get any large 5-topping pizza for only $13.99. Place your order today online at papajohns.com and sign up for Papa Rewards. Papa John's, the official pizza of the ECU Pirates.
It's summertime and it's no better time to drive away with a quality pre-owned car truck from Greenville Auto World. Let Greenville Auto World show you how easy it is to buy a quality used car in Greenville. We believe fair prices, superior service, and treating customers right leads to satisfied repeat buyers. Are you planning that summer trip by car? We'll get you set for that trip with an oil change and 27-point inspection. Greenville Auto World, 3840 South Charles Boulevard, across from Hardee's at Bill's Fork.
CD's Grill in Winterville wants to thank you for all of your support during these crazy times. CD's Grill has the area's best country cooking, and you can come and enjoy a down-home breakfast or one of our daily country lunch specials at CD's Grill.
Hi, this is Lawrence Manning from my entire CD's Grill family. Thank you for all your support. And we invite you and your family and friends to try CD's Grill and taste for yourself the best country cooking around. Promise, CD's Grill.
CD's Grill, 111 West Spire Tower Road in Winterville.
Well, if it isn't the Pirate Captain.
Pirate Radio.
The beard's looking great, my man.
The voice of the Pirate Nation. You're listening to Hour 1 of Pirate Radio Live. Now, back to the show.
Well, welcome back. PRL this afternoon is brought to you by Bud Light, who reminds Pirate fans to always stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now let's head back into Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Ross.
All right, thank you very much, Shirley Rhodes. The Bucks cruise by the Magic 121-106, take a 3-1 series lead. You got the Rockets and Thunder about to tip off. Baseball score, and only one right now. Tampa leading Toronto 1-0 in the third inning. Let's see, Shirley, no O's baseball tonight?
No, they play tomorrow night.
All right, we'll have more O's baseball for you coming up on Tuesday. Saw some late night tweeting from Chan Man, who was watching some young stars go at it last night. Donovan Mitchell and Jamal Murray putting up 50 burgers for their respective teams. The Jazz beating the Nuggets. That was a lot of fun, Chandler.
I'm going to hate when this series is over, man.
I saw you tweet that.
This has been a fun thing to watch. I mean, both of these guys, these young guys, have a lot of talent. Last night, Mitchell had 51, Jamal Murray with 50. I mean, you can't ask for much better basketball.
And it's been a lot of fun to follow. I'm starting to become one of those young people. Look, the Hornets are still my team. I'm a Charlotte Hornets fan, but it seems like there's a generation of, all right, who do you root for? LeBron. What do you mean LeBron? I mean, who's your favorite team? I like LeBron. I also like Kevin Durant.
Right.
Like, what about your team? Like, there's a lot of basketball fans that don't have a team. Yeah. They just root for players. I find myself, I'm a Hornets fan, but I'm a Lillard fan. I'm a Luka fan. I'm starting to pick individuals to root for, Chandler, instead of just a team. And I used to rag on these people that used to do that would tell me they did that. Now I'm becoming one of them.
Yeah, I mean, I'm same here with you. I'm a Hornets fan, but I appreciate watching these guys like Jamal Murray and Donovan Mitchell putting up 50 in a game. And then you look at Luka yesterday, and he had 47 points, 13 rebounds. No, I might be wrong there. 17 rebounds and 13 assists. So he joins, I think, who was it? Charles Barkley and somebody else with that kind of stat line with 40, 15, and 10 in the playoffs.
Just unbelievable.
A bunch of young talent in the NBA.
And fun to watch and fun to keep up with. We will talk more NBA coming up in about 30 minutes, talk about tonight's lines, and if Jeff Nadu is riding anything. You got Pacers Heat coming up, and of course Blazers Lakers tonight, and the Rockets and Thunder about to get underway. We will talk more ECU and local sports when we return, as Double B, Brian Bailey, going to join us on the Fixed NC Live line. We'll see what's up with Bailey, talk some Pirate football after this.
Let's turn a trip to the branch into a tap on your phone. Let's hit pause on a lost debit card without hitting pause on life. That's how First National Bank is redefining convenience with a top-rated mobile app that puts more security and control at your fingertips and friendly people to help you succeed right by your side. Let's get started at fnb-online.com or your local First National Bank. FNB member FDIC.
The
dog days of summer are here, and Pitt Printing is excited to be partnered with Pitt County Humane Society and Pirate Radio to make Greenville greater than ever. This is Donald Stocks from Pitt Printing, and if you're headed to the beach, the river, or the pool, then stop by and see us and pick up a new t-shirt and 2 koozies for only $20. Help rescued pets here in Pitt County and make Greenville greater than ever, and by getting your shirts and koozies at Pitt County Humane Society or Pitt Printing today.
In studio with Mike Mullis from Fixed NC. And Mike, you guys have a disinfecting service for homes and businesses.
Yes, we have a 2-step process that includes disinfecting and also provides 30 days of protection to all surfaces treated. We're doing this for 10 cents a square foot in businesses and $10 a room in your home.
Mike, how can folks get in touch with you?
Call me directly at my cell, 252-999-0001. Again, 3 9s, 3 zeros, and a 1. Or fixednc.com.
With rates being historically low, now is the best time to buy or refinance your home. This is Talbot Green with Angel Oak Home Loans. Now is the time to take advantage of the opportunity to buy more home or refinance your current mortgage. The combination of our local team's experience and Angel Oak's wide offerings of products from standard conventional, government, and portfolio loans has something for most financial situations. For more information, call Talbot Green, Joanne Weir, or Wanda Hager at 751-2060.
NMLS 1719250 and 685-842. Equal housing lender. Do you think you might have been exposed to COVID-19? Maybe you're planning to visit parents, family, or friends. ArcPoint Labs of Greenville offers same-day COVID-19 results. No referral needed. Same-day results available. ArcPoint Labs of Greenville offers easy solutions to COVID-19 testing. ArcPoint Labs of Greenville is located across from Vidant Hospital on Executive Circle behind Southern Bank. Call for an appointment or walk in. ArcPoint Labs of Greenville, 215-5688 or arcpointlabs.com.
Bostic Sugg Furniture wants to know, how'd you sleep last night? If you're like thousands, the answer is probably not very well. You're tired, stressed, your job suffers, and worse, your health suffers. Get better sleep on a Restonic mattress, a Consumer's Digest Award winner 13 years running. Restonic Queen mattresses start as low as $4.99. Restonic 2-sided Queen mattresses from only $6.99. If you're ready to wake up to a whole new you, we have a Restonic mattress waiting for you, exclusively at Bostic Sugg Furniture.
This is Sam Jones inviting you to join us for lunch, dinner, or takeout at Sam Jones Barbecue. At Sam Jones, you'll find our smokehouse pumping out fresh food cooked over wood every single day. That's our Eastern North Carolina whole hog barbecue, slow-cooked chicken, smoked turkey, and spare ribs. There are no freezers here. Everything, and we mean everything, is made fresh daily, including our sides, sweets, and sauces. Come on over and see us at Sam Jones Barbecue, and I'll bet you'll be able to taste the difference in just one bite. Sam Jones Barbecue, Fire Tower Road.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, W224EI Greenville, WDLX Washington, and W281CH Washington. You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Atlantic Wireless is your local authorized U.S. cellular agent and now offers curbs. In addition to phone service, Atlantic Wireless has a great selection of tablets and now offers home internet service. Visit AtlanticWireless.com to find a store near you. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Rock.
All right, hour number 2 of Pirate Radio Live. Welcome back into the program. Thanks, Shirley. Thanks, Chandler. Thanks, Ellerbe and Todd Graffagnini, for joining me hour number 1. We'll welcome on Double B, Brian Bailey, to the Fixed NC Live line now. ECU football practice is paused. We do not pause here at Pirate Radio. We move forward, and that includes the Brian Bailey Show, which aired earlier today at noon, and you can catch the replay coming up at 6 o'clock, a kind of roundtable with the high school football coaches in the area, Bailey. And I've talked to some of the guys you had on your show earlier today. The last coach I talked with was Todd Lipe. It was the day before the NCHSAA came out with their decision to push back the start of high school football to 2021. And he said, I want to play now, but more than that, I just want to know when we're playing. So at least these coaches know what they're doing, and you got to talk to them today, kind of for the first time after the ruling came out. So overall, Bailey, are they almost excited to at least know when they're going to have a season and kind of get out of that waiting game? I know they wish they were playing football last Friday, but at least they have a schedule now, right?
Yeah, I think that's a key point. Although they understand that that's not written in stone because we don't know what's going to what the future holds. But hopefully, we'll be at a place where we can continue on with high school sports. It's going to be abbreviated. It's not going to be the same. But at least they've got an idea now because one of the coaches said today, we just didn't want them to say, okay, we're going to start October 1st, and then we worked so hard, and then in the middle of September they say, okay, we're going to start October 15th. And you have to revamp and this way they do have a set schedule. Hey, we're going to start February, I believe it's the 8th, with the first official practice of the high school football season, and then the 26th will be the first Friday night of high school football in February, which is very, very different for all of us. But it's going to be fun once we get there. We just got to get there.
Yeah, potential for a lot of fun. I mean, I was thinking about it today. You got Conley football potentially rolling into coverage of the NCAA tournament. There's so many different things that could happen in the sports world and here on Pirate Radio if all those schedules turn out to be true. So it could be a lot of fun. But Bailey, one question you asked across the board was, it's going to be really cold. Do you want to maybe go afternoon football and avoid the brutal cold at night? And I feel like across the board, all of them want some Friday night football, right? No matter how cold it is.
Yeah, I was a little surprised at that. I think a couple of them really hadn't even thought about it. Yeah. But I think it's kind of etched in your mind that, high school football is played on a Friday night, even though we skip around sometimes because of weather during a normal season. But, yeah, I was a little surprised. A couple of them, I didn't think about that. But most of them, to a man, said, hey, we want to play. It's funny when you talk to coaches because they understand how special the Friday night lights are. And then you hear them say, we want the kids to experience that. And I think back to my high school career years and years and years ago, and I always thought that. I don't know what it was, but it was just like all those summer practices and everything, and you get to put that uniform on a Friday, and you get to wear your jersey to school, and you walk around, and you get to go to the games early, hang around the locker room with all the guys, and get ready for the game. It was just so much fun because as a football player, most of us don't get to play college football, and then even fewer get to play pro football. But a lot of us got to play high school football, and that was a good time.
Brian Bailey joining us on the Fixed NC Live line. Bailey, you asked this question too, and I think it's nice that for the kids to have some normalcy to be in school. But what about from an athletic standpoint when almost everything is pushed back to 2021? What are teams and coaches and everything able to do right now, kind of towards the end of the calendar year? What's going on right now, athletics-wise?
Well, and that kind of differed with who you talk to because, one county, Coach Craddock said they weren't allowed to do anything for the time being. And then in Pitt County, they're allowed to do some different, things with their players and still work out and stuff. So it's been kind of, and as Craddock said, it's really not fair for some schools to get to do some things and other schools not to get to do anything at all. But, that's just the world we live in right now with, different counties and different school boards coming up with different policies. That's why we got to get, back to normal as soon as we can.
Well, Bailey, I thought about you and all my friends in the local TV business on Friday night. I love watching Touchdown Friday and catching all the highlights. How'd you make it out Friday night? Where did you? You asked this question to all the coaches, so I'll ask you. What did you do on Friday night while you were supposed to be on Touchdown Friday?
We went to dinner with the family. Melissa and Storm and me and Melissa went to dinner, and then I kind of just tried to forget about it because if I think about something like that, I get sentimental. So I try not to think about it because, I really, I just enjoy doing it so much. Yeah. I enjoy, because for me, it's kind of like you're the coach of a team, and there's really nothing like a Saturday morning when you wake up and you go and you're able to, to think back to your show and you did, you had a really, really good show. And, because so many people have to really combine their efforts to get a show like that. It's certainly not a one-man show. It's like everybody has to come through with what they have to do, and you have to put it all together. It's such a rush of adrenaline and emotion to get it all done. And you can ask people left and right. I mean, I'm screaming this and screaming that. You got to get this done. You got to get it done. But for the most part, they've all worked with me for so long. So at the end of the night, everybody says, "Okay, everybody good?" Everybody says, "Yeah, we're good." We all go home and we all get ready for another week. But it's funny because so much work goes into the show, And so you think, well, you get this far off, but nobody's looking forward to not having high school football. That's for sure.
As you say that, Bailey, I'm thinking about the Bud Light pregame tailgate and being here in studio with Shirley, all day long, and Glenn and everybody that helps us out, and then you guys on the phone and what you do with Inside the Huddle and how big of a group effort that is. And I have that same feeling as we sign off on the fifth quarter of working all day and making those shows the best we can, and which is why I am really, really hoping we can get some Bud Light pregame tailgates and fifth quarter call-in shows in here on the fall, because they're special to me, just like the Touchdown Friday is to you, and you're a part of it. So I appreciate you, and I know you want that to happen too, Bailey, with all the stuff you do when it comes to game day Saturdays here at Pirate Radio.
And I've really enjoyed doing that through the years. I mean, it's a lot of fun to go out. My favorite story for all the years of doing the pregame show. Do you remember the Tulane game? And I looked out, and the captains were at the logo, and they were doing something to the logo. And I couldn't tell what they were doing, so I went over and asked them, and they came back. I thought they, because somebody had done something about urinating on a logo or something. And so I thought maybe they had a test tube of some sort. I saw that, and I went up to them, and I said, "Man, you guys, what'd y'all do?" And they said, "It's holy water." I said, "Get out of here!" It was holy water, and they were pouring it on the logo.
Wow!
I said, "Why are you trying to bless the Pirate logo for?" And they started laughing. But that's what it was. The holy water from the Tulane Greenway. And those down in New Orleans, they got a lot of stuff going on.
No doubt. We just talked to Todd Graffagnini live down there in New Orleans as they're preparing for one, if not two storms. I told him we can relate to that, right, Bailey? The hurricane season hitting them maybe back to back here, and so in fact, I heard Nate Connor today talk about the Conley football season and said, well, Bailey, at least during that time of the year, we won't have a hurricane. The first thing I thought was, oh, God, we're going to have a hurricane in February, aren't we? Right after Nate Connor said that.
Either that or a blizzard.
Who knows what kind of weather we'll be getting. Bailey, how about ECU football? They're on a pause. What are your inside sources saying? When are we getting back to football practice? You think it'll happen this week?
I think it will. I think it's going to happen tomorrow, but I don't know anything more than anybody else does. But I'm thinking that they're going to get back out there. That if everything is going smoothly like we think it is right now, that they'll be back out there tomorrow, and then they'll continue preparation. I was really enthused with what the chancellor said yesterday, because I thought whenever they called that press conference, I was out of town. But I sent word up here. I said, "Hey, look, somebody ask him what the status of football is, because he's the guy that he's the guy that's going to know." And I'm not sure who asked the question at the press conference, but he came out and said, "We've got a game scheduled for September the 12th, and we plan on playing it." So that's good news to me.
It's encouraging because he's not only following what's happening at ECU, he's also on those conference calls with conference leaders weekly, right. Bailey. And if he's confident about ECU playing, that means he's pretty confident about the league kind of being in lockstep too, together playing a football season. I would think, right?
Yeah, I think so too. I think and it's no guarantee, as we all know, as we joked about. It's like you get to a 50-50 spot, and then every day you get further, you go 51-49, 52-48, 53-47. I'm not sure on that scale, but that's how you have to kind of look at it. You got to inch your way to it. The closer we get to game day without any major problems, then the more of a chance we're going to get the chance to see them play.
And I feel like there's a milestone event coming up this Saturday, Bailey, and that is, you better get to know it. It's Austin Peay versus Central Arkansas this Saturday. Shirley says it's going to be televised on ESPN. I mean, we're going to preview that game Friday, so we might give you a call to preview Austin Peay versus Central Arkansas, because that's all we got right now. And if we could see some college football on TV, Bailey, that would not only make me feel good on Saturday, it would make me feel good moving forward about other games on TV later, including ECU.
And I'm one of those rare ones. I mean, I know the preseason doesn't mean anything, but I like watching preseason football. I just like to see them out there. I know that most of the guys you see, you never see again. You hope that your favorite team wins a game or two, because it doesn't matter if they do or not, but you still would like to see them win a game or two. And I've missed that this summer. I really like watching.
I'm sad. I'm just as sad as you are. You can't watch Washington play the Colts tonight, Bailey. But we'll move on. We'll get over it.
Yeah, we will. We'll get through it.
Hey, look, the Redskins can't lose on Monday night if there's no Monday night game. So that's
The Redskins can't lose, period, because there is no Redskins anymore.
Damn, you got me there. Bailey, enjoyed it as always. We'll check out the encore of the Brian Bailey Show coming up at 6. You had some great coaches on with you on today's program.
A class group, man. I've been blessed to work with some really, really outstanding coaches since day one here in Greenville. I mean, it's been really, they're so accommodating, and they'll do anything in the world for you. They love their sport. They want to sell their sport to the public, and they really, they love their kids. They love their players, and it was a lot of fun with those guys.
Enjoyed it, Bailey. Thanks for joining us, man.
All right, buddy.
Double B, Brian Bailey, hanging out with us on Pirate Radio Live on a Monday edition of the program. Still to come, Troy D. going to be joining me in the studio in hour number 3, as we'll once again reset what is happening right now with ECU football and ECU athletics and East Carolina University. But coming up next, we will talk about what's going on in the world of sports with the big man on campus. Dive into a little NFL. We haven't talked a lot of NFL as it is quickly approaching. We will dive into that and some NBA and more with the BMOC when we return on Pirate Radio Live. Back with you after this.
Back to school is here, and the Auto Store Group is committed to helping our customers drive the best quality pre-owned vehicles and is committed to caring about our kids and our community. This is Bryce Williams from the Auto Store Group, and right now during our Backpack to School event, every time we sell a vehicle, we'll be making a $50 donation to any local school that the customer chooses. The Auto Store Group, 3 locations, over 150 vehicles online at theautostoregroup.com, and most importantly, proud members of the Eastern North Carolina community for over 38 years.
It's almost quitting time, but your family's hunger is gearing up for the night shift. Now you could unload groceries, chop, dice, mince, preheat, heat, slap around the smoke detector, and then celebrate with a big old pile of dishes. Or you could drop a big bow box on it, because whether you need an 8, 12, or 20 piece with biscuits, fixins, and tea, you can clock out and spend some quality time with a delicious dinner. Now when it comes to sneaking a biscuit on the drive home, that's all you. Bojangles, it's bow time.
My whole business just went up in flames, but my agent was there before the fire was out. We started a plan. I've got 25 employees who could be out of a job if we didn't get this place running again. My independent agent and auto owner's insurance, they made sure we didn't skip a beat. I mean, we didn't miss a single payroll. That's incredible.
For whatever lies ahead, we're always there.
This is Brian Smith with Town Insurance in Greenville. Call me today at 756-8300. Go Pirates!
Are your workouts more fun than this? Well, if they are, then I want to sign you to an endorsement deal with Michelob Ultra. I'm looking for anyone and everyone who makes working out a blast. If that's you, head to TeamUltra.com for a chance to score awesome perks like Team Ultra gear and more. That's TeamUltra.com to enter.
No purchase necessary. Open U.S. residents 21 plus. See official rules at TeamUltra.com. Message and data rates may apply. Void where prohibited. Enjoy responsibly. AB Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Hey, Pitt County Schools families, the month of August is here and school will certainly be different this year. If you are starting school 100% virtually or are attending school face-to-face on alternating weeks, we are looking forward to resuming the purpose of our system, and that's the education of the children in Pitt County in an excellent and a safe manner. For videos with our leaders, FAQs, and so much more information to answer your questions, visit our Road to Reopening page on our website at pittschools.org or keep up with us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Remember, we'll face this upcoming school year together because we are Pitt County Schools strong.
East Coast Grading and Utilities is your source for clearing, hauling dirt, and concrete work. East Coast Grading and Utilities handles all sewer and water issues as well.
I'm David Vaughn. Whether putting in a new subdivision or helping you with any and all of your drainage problems, I can get the job done. Call me at 531-7494.
No job is too big or too small. East Coast Grading and Utilities. Friends helping friends. 531-7494 for East Coast Grading and Utilities.
Let us help you get back to business.
This is Donald Stocks
and Justin Judge of Pitt of Eastern North Carolina.
We're ready to assist your business with branded PPE. Would you like face masks with your logo? We can do that. Plus custom social distancing signage.
Now is the time to ramp up your marketing efforts. Whether it's cutting edge, contactless, touchless marketing, or traditional direct mail, we can do it all.
We are Pitt of Eastern North Carolina.
Warren's Hot Dog Pizza, homemade lemonade.
Hey, Pirate Nation, Warren's Hot Dogs, 2 locations are open for business in Greenville and Chocowinity. Both locations have drive-through windows, so stop by today for hot dogs, pizzas, subs, apple and peach turnovers, homemade lemonade, and breakfast in Chocowinity, featuring homemade cheese, ham, and chicken biscuits, plus sausage dogs and more. Warren's in Greenville, across from Ron Ayers Motorsports, and in Chocowinity, next to the fire department. Warren's Hot Dogs. Want some? Get some.
You're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation. Go Pirates! Arg!
You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. UBE has been an ECU tradition for over 50 years. You can shop online anytime at pirateware.com. UBE has the biggest and best selection of ECU sportswear and accessories for pirates of all ages. Every day is game day at UBE. And Clip, as we head back into Pirate Radio Live, I have an additional scheduling update
All
for
right.
you.
I love it.
Campbell has just announced that they will now host Coastal Carolina on September 19th, and Campbell has pretty much filled out a schedule as well.
Talked to the play-by-play voice of the Camels, Chris Haymeyer, last week. They had 2 games on the docket. He told us they would have 4 by when it's all said and done. And nice to see them have a home game there against Coastal Carolina. So Chris Haymeyer will be on the call for 4 football games coming up this fall. The schedule continues to fill up. That is a good sign, people, that we're going to have some football this fall. All right, we'll talk a little NFL coming up right here, some NBA and more as well with the BMOC. Jeff Nadu, who joins us on the Fixed NC Live line. Jeff, how you doing today, man?
Pretty good, Clip. How are you?
Doing all right, and a little sad because if the Miami Heat win today, Jeff, this will be our last wall-to-wall basketball day. So almost hoping the Pacers can pull one out. But, man, it's been a lot of fun to, hockey has moved on to round 2, so we're not getting the afternoon hockey. But this basketball from, noon to midnight has been awesome. It's been an NCAA tournament feel, and it's been a lot of fun watching it.
Yeah, I mean, look, anytime there's more basketball to look at, I never complain. But I got to be honest with you, I don't care a whole lot about the first game being removed. I got to tell you, I don't watch much of these games, the ones at 1:30. A lot of the time they're just not that interesting. And second of all, I'm just doing other things, doing work or whatever. So, yeah, as long as we have the night games, we even have like a 6 o'clock game, I'm good with that.
On that note, Jeff, you got Pacers Heat coming up tonight. Heat looking to close it out. Rockets and Thunder will go at it with the Rockets up 2-1 in that series. That's the game that just tipped off. And then later tonight, Lakers looking to really take a stranglehold on that series, up 2-1 on the Blazers. So let's look at tonight's action and what do you like, Jeff, if anything, going on the rest of the day?
Yeah, Heat Pacers is a fascinating matchup because, I for one have watched all 3 of these games, and I gotta be real honest, Clip. I don't know why and how the Pacers haven't at least won one of these games. I mean, they've been right there for the most part. They've missed DeMontis Sabonis, but you look at game 1, they lose by 12, but Victor Oladipo only played 9 minutes. I get the feeling if he plays, that's a different game. Game 2. All these games have been close. Even Saturday's game, it was a 4-point game going into the fourth quarter. You look at tonight, I have some concerns about the Heat. First of all, Iggy, Crowder, and Derek Jones are all questionable. I liked what I saw at Indiana in Game 3. Nate McMillan mentioned that it's important that this team get to the line more, create, not just shoot jump shots. They did that. They got to the line 28 times, and their offense was much more fluid. The big 3 looked good, Warren, Brogdon, and Oladipo. Also, you look at with Crowder, Iggy, and Derek Jones possibly out, that'll hurt the bench, and it'll also hurt the perimeter defense. I think Miami could thrive. It'll also hurt their bench rotation. Look, Clip, it was pretty clear in the first and second half. The Pacers basically had an interest in defending the 3-point line. They were very good in the second half. They gave up just 2 over 13 attempts. I don't think Miami's going to shoot 52 free throws like they did in Game 3 either. We've seen with these teams that go down 3-0, we saw it with the Philadelphia 76ers and the Brooklyn Nets, they generally fade away and burn out. But the Pacers, I don't think, should be down 3-0. I think they'll have a little pride here. I thought this number was too high. I think this is a game that they can challenge and maybe win. I just don't think they get swept. Defensively, I thought they looked better even after the 52 free throws. I think they continue to get to the hoop and create at the line. So I like the Pacers here.
Looking ahead, you like the Pacers tonight. If the Heat do close out that series at some point, Jeff, do you think that they are any trouble for the Milwaukee Bucks?
Yes, I think they can beat the Milwaukee Bucks. I think the Bucks are beatable. I think that's been shown, obviously, in the bubble and against the Orlando Magic. I think the Heat will represent the East. I've said that before. I'm going to say it now. I think they are a very good basketball team. I don't think there's a lot of flaws with this team when fully healthy. They have a superstar. They have a deep bench. They can shoot the lights out. They're very good from a rebounding perspective. They have a solid big. I think Eric Spoelstra is one of the best coaches in the league. I like everything about the Miami Heat.
What about the other side? We saw the Celtics take care of your Sixers over the weekend, and Jeff, we all know at this point your thoughts on your Sixers, and you want to see, and I don't want to speak for you. You definitely want to see a coaching change. What about a roster overhaul? I mean, who's back next year, and the guys they have, can the right coach work with the roster they've assembled, if healthy?
Clip, you cut out. What team did you say?
Your Sixers, as far as you want to see and are likely going to see a coaching change, but what about a roster? You know, Brett Brown was asked about the roster and the pieces and almost made it sound like that I just got to work with what I got type of thing. I know there were injuries, but do you want to see that same roster moving forward?
Absolutely not. Listen, Brett Brown's gone. Not only is Brett Brown gone, but I am actually physically disgusted and sick of the report that I hear coming out of this town today that Elton Brand is going to be retained. That is absolute lunacy to bring him back. If you're going to fire Brett Brown, you need to fire Elton Brand. The reason the roster is the way it is because Elton Brand and his horrific ineptitude and ineptness, this guy has been laughable as a GM, and the reason the roster is the way it is because Elton Brand made it that way. His complete arrogance is to not bring in a backup point guard. His disgraceful contracts to people like Al Horford, who's one of the worst contracts in the history of this city, to the ineffectiveness of the bench, of the just, inability to ever care about the NBA draft past the lottery. The roster construction will stink if he's still around. It's very similar in this town, Clip, but that's normal here. The Phillies do it as well. They fire Gabe Kapler, yet keep Matt Klentek around. And look, no surprise, the roster stinks, and they have no bullpen. Everything about this team sucks and is annoying. You need a clean house. You need to create something different. But that's what the owners are. They're a bunch of losers, these owners. They don't care about this team. They just care about not rocking the boat. It's irritating.
All right, there's a good big man rant on Pirate Radio that we haven't heard in a while. You can see quite a few of those on his Twitter at JeffNADU. What about an early look at that Celtics Raptors series, big man? We've talked about the Raptors. I mean, no superstar, but just tons of talent across the board. And the Celtics also with a hearty bench as well. So I really like that series, Jeff. But who has the edge? I mean, the Raptors have the edge in this thing?
Well, I think they do, as long as Kyle Lowry's healthy. I mean, he had a sprained ankle, I believe. Look, I would give the edge to the Raptors, but I do think that it is a series that could go 7. I really do. You look at the Celtics, and that four-headed monster of Smart, Tatum, Brown, and Kemba Walker is really good. And I got to tell you, I've been impressed with their bench. Enes Kanter's played well, Wanamaker, Shemi Ojeleye. Daniel Tice did a pretty nice job at times in the series against Joel Embiid. This isn't the Sixers. This is the Celtics. They're a much better side. The Raptors, I've talked about before, Clip, I hate the way they defend sometimes. It's not that it's not effective, but it allows for a lot of three-point shots. Now, the Brooklyn Nets weren't able to do that, and they lost one of their best players, Joe Harris, and that really changed that series. The Celtics aren't going to miss open looks, and they're going to make those shots. I think this has the ability to be an old-school Eastern Conference series. I don't. It wouldn't surprise me if we have a game where neither team hits like 100. I think this could be a throwback. Could be a fun one. I think it goes deep. I also wonder, does Toronto have that go-to scorer? They don't have a Tatum. They don't have a Kemba Walker to me. They just have a lot of really good offensive players. I don't know if they have a superstar. So, yeah, if Lowry's out a game or two, that has really hurt certain teams, Clip. Look at the LA Clippers. That series would be if Patrick Beverly was playing, or whatever the numbers is. I forget how many games they played. But, Patrick Beverly, not having him has really hurt the LA Clippers. So, yeah, if you don't have Lowry for a game or two, that could be the difference.
All right, Jeff, I remember talking to you heading in to the weekend about, the Mavericks and do they have a shot against the Clippers? And you said they have a real shot. That was before Luka got injured on Friday night, comes back Sunday, performance of a lifetime, game winner. And I don't even need to ask you again if the Mavericks have a shot. They win without Kristaps Porzingis on Sunday, an incredible run. And now, are they almost, I haven't looked at series prices and everything, but, who is the favorite in that series? Is it still the Clippers, even though the Mavs have done what they've done?
I think it is. Look, and I want to make this clear. Luka Doncic is terrific. He's as good as it gets. I love watching the kid. I think he's already a top 5 player in the league, surprisingly enough. But, yeah, crazy enough, I still think the Clippers win the series. Like I said, I think if Patrick Beverly was in both these games, the series could be over by now. And if Paul George just
Paul George has got to be a mental thing now, right, Jeff? I know he's. Yeah. It's unbelievable. You just expect him to miss everything now, and he does.
I'm not asking him to even play great or good. I'm just saying just be average. He's been horrifically, abhorrently bad. So, that's where, for me, you look at this series, you haven't had Beverly, and I continue to want to state how important he is. I don't think people get that, he's probably a top 5 defender in the NBA. With not having him against a guy like Doncic, and then not only not having him, but then you have to put Reggie Jackson or Lou Williams on Doncic. It's just a pathetic comparison. It's not even close.
Well, there's also a lot of mentally tough guys in the league, Jeff, but also some very fragile guys. And when you have a Beverly there yapping the entire time, that's a factor too.
Exactly.
Yeah, just him being part of the game.
Beverly,
yeah.
Yeah, no, he's a guy that can play mind games with people. We've seen that happen with him before. For as poorly at times as the Clippers have played, defensively they've been bad, man. I don't know how else to say it, and that's Beverly, the change there. And the problem that you have for the Clippers is you can't necessarily say go guard him, Kawhi, because Kawhi Leonard has to extend so much in the offensive end as well. You don't have George. He's got to pick up his slack. You got to pick up other slack as well. So, to just ask him to run around all game and defend, Luka Doncic on top of that, it's just hard to do. I think the Clippers find a way. I think they do see Beverly at some point. And like I said, if Paul George just, instead of shooting 4 for 17, shoots, 6 for 17, they probably win yesterday. So I just need George to be a little better.
Talking to the BMOC, Jeff Nadu. Here, Jeff, we haven't talked much baseball our last few conversations. Is the NBA and other things kind of taking your time here lately? Are you doing any baseball on a nightly basis?
Not really. I actually have one thing I have been betting, though. I've been betting against the Phillies so whoever the Phillies play, I've been taking that team total over. So,
and I tell you what, I almost jumped on the Braves. They were down by 2, in the 7th last night. And Phillies bullpen, the Braves have got them the previous 2 nights. I almost thought, the Phillies aren't going to win this game. Sure enough, the Braves, Freddie Freeman hits a double, and Dansby Swanson gets thrown out at home for the final out. Would have tied the game. So I was kind of right and wrong. The Phillies bullpen did blow it, but they were lucky enough to get a nice relay and a tag to win the game last night, Jeff.
Yeah, that ended up being, for me, a loser just because the team total was 4.5. It was rough. I think certain people thought maybe he was blocking the play, but he's got to go for the ball, which, again, obviously I get that. But, you maybe, I think looking back, I know you're down, at that point 2 runs. Maybe you hold him there, maybe live to see another day. But it was a nice throw. Didi Gregorius didn't seem to do much wrong. So it was a nice relay. It was a nice cutoff throw. Yeah, I'll keep betting against it, though. I think you're actually going to get a little bit more favorable numbers just because I think the Phillies, I think they're going to have some positivity just because they think that guys like Heath Hembry and Brandon Workman are going to make a big difference. They brought them in over the weekend to help this much-maligned bullpen. But, look, Brandon Workman is not a good reliever. I'm not sure how good Heath Hembry is either. So I don't think their starting pitching is very good either, so I'll keep betting against them.
Talking to the BMOC, Jeff Nadu. Jeff, I know you said you want to talk a little NFL as well. What are you looking at as far as NFL goes? Totals? Are you starting to look at week 1? What are you looking at right now with the National Football League?
Yeah, mostly betting right now futures. I'm not quite at the week 1 yet. I'm probably not going to bet a ton of week 1. I might have a game or two, but I'm not going to be betting a ton of week 1 just because I do want to let these guys kind of figure it out first. Clip, I kind of relate this weirdly enough. You've seen The Wire, right?
Sure. Yep.
Okay. If you remember in season 3, they have the legalized drug zone that Major Colvin creates, and
Amsterdam, I believe they called it.
Amsterdam, yes, yeah. Amsterdam, correct. Yeah. There's always a scene that I remember vividly, and it kind of relates to this. If you remember, one of the cops basically said to Colvin, he goes, "Wow, they take to this pretty quickly. They act like we're not even here." And they basically were saying that the drug dealers and users don't even worry it. After like 5 minutes, they just go back to business.
Yeah.
And I kind of relate that here just in the fact that, these are the best athletes in the world, and it's not going to take them long to figure it out. I remember Mike D'Antoni mentioned that when James Harden came back from the shutdown, he said for about 30 seconds, James Harden didn't look himself, and then 30 seconds later, he started making half-court threes
right.
himself. So I'll give it a game, and then I'll kind of come back to it. But, yeah, I'm looking at futures right now, Clip. I'm looking at teams like the Buffalo Bills, who I'm very high on. I think this group is going to win a playoff game this year, and I'm very high on them to not only win their win their division, but I think they're a challenger. I think the Dallas Cowboys are a group that I bet to win the Super Bowl. I would love them if they were able to get Earl Thomas as well. I just think there's so much about the Cowboys. I think they could have the best roster overall in the league. I think Mike McCarthy is 10 times better than Jason Garrett, and I'm not even a huge Mike fan. I think Dak Prescott takes another step forward. Ezekiel Elliott, that offensive line, they have one of the best receiver cores in the league. And defensively, don't sleep on them. They have the best linebacking core in the league. And adding guys like Dontari Poe and Jefferson Griffin, those are big gets. If they could add Earl Thomas, game over.
Talking to the BMOC, speaking of Earl Thomas, no longer a Raven. I remember last year at this time, Jeff, you were liking the Ravens to win that AFC North. This year, you said you've already put a little bit on Ravens running the table and getting a nice payout on that. Ravens are monster favorites to win their division, minus 225. Looking at the rest of the AFC South, seems like it's a logjam every year. You've got the Texans, Titans, Colts right there around each other, and of course the Chiefs, the big favorites in the West. When you look at the division prices in the AFC, Jeff, I mean the Ravens should be a slam dunk, but you're paying a hefty price. And how about the West? Any I don't know, Chargers, Broncos? You want to throw a little bit on to see if they can beat the Chiefs? It looks like those two almost definites there to win their division. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm not a guy that, outside the Ravens, I don't play a ton of favorites. I'm always kind of looking at kind of the off-the-beaten-path group. But, I think the Chargers are interesting. Obviously, Phillip Rivers is gone, which obviously helps. I was waiting to kind of see him move on. Yeah, I think from a defensive perspective, that is a really good team. We know what they have up front with Bosa and Melvin Ingram, but you had Kenneth Murray all of a sudden to a linebacking core that needed a player like that. Secondary I love. And I think offensively, I think we see Justin Herbert sooner than later. We all know the deep ball he can throw. I mean, if you watch Hard Knocks, you can see it. And I got to tell you, I've really taken a liking to Anthony Lynn. I think he's a good coach. I think he's a great leader. I really like what I've seen out of him, and I think they're going to be a team to just keep our eye on. I know we say that every year, but I'm definitely going to have my eye on them. I think they made some real stretches forward defensively, and I like Keenan Allen. I obviously like Mike Williams a lot. I think Austin Eckler's an underrated back in this league, and I like Hunter Henry. I think if they can figure out the quarterback position, they have three solid quarterbacks in that roster, whether it's Taylor, Herbert, or even Easton Stick, a guy out of North Dakota State that had kind of some Carson Wentz vibes to him. But, yeah, I like them. And, yeah, the Colts are interesting. I think I just talked about how Phillip Rivers moves on. Did Phillip need kind of just a change of pace, something different? He's going to have a really good receiver to throw to. He's got a good young guy coming in, and Michael Pittman. You already had Paris Campbell. I like that run game there, especially adding John Taylor to the mix. They have the best offensive line in the league, in my opinion. And defensively, they had some injuries last year. I mean, whether it was, Rock Ya-Sin or Darius Leonard, someone was out at some point. They move on from Paris to Sear. And they bring in Xavier Rhodes. I think he needed a change of pace as well. They're going to be a team on my radar. I think they got stronger in the secondary as well. It wouldn't surprise me if they find a way to win the AFC South.
Jeff, one more for you before we let you go. I'm starting to look at these kind of for the first time in a while, and everybody's plus money to win in the NFC North. You got Vikings plus 165, Packers plus 200, Bears plus 420. I mean, what if they do get good quarterback play from either one of those guys, Nick Foles or Mitchell Trubisky? Decent defense, a ton of weapons that sometimes Matt Nagy kind of gets too cute on the offensive side of the ball. But how about a Bears plus 420 bet to win the North? Are you totally against that, Jeff, or could you get on board with that?
No, because look, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not in love with their weapons. I don't think there's a lot there to get excited about, to be real honest with you. I think they're just names there, and until they do something, I'm not real that impressed. I don't love their running game. I just don't think they have a ton of weapons personally. They've never had that number one guy to come in. If I were them, I would have tried to grab Stephon Diggs. You're not going to. I don't think you're going to get him away from Minnesota, but a player like that would have helped considerably. Defensively, they're very good, but I don't have any interest in them. And look, let's be real. They're not willing to give up on Mitch Trubisky, it seems like. My team is the Lions. I'm all in on them.
Okay, you can get them for even a better price, than the Bears.
Yeah, I don't understand. I don't understand why they're low odds. I don't get it. I think Matt Stafford is one of the most underrated quarterbacks in the league. Adding DeAndre Swift, I think, is big on a run game that's actually a lot better than it's been in years past. I think they have an underrated group at receiver. Kenny Galladay's terrific. Marvin Jones, Danny Amendola. I mean, that's a solid group of skill position players. Kerryon Johnson as well. And you bring in, to me, the best cornerback in the NFL draft over the last 5 years in Jeffrey Okudah. I think he's a Jalen Ramsey type of player. I think they have an underrated defense. I don't seem to understand why they don't get any respect. I don't get it.
Okay.
I think they put points up. I think they defend at a pretty high level. If we remember last year before Stafford went out, they actually had a really solid start of the season. So,
well, if you don't love the Vikings or Packers, there's a couple options for you. I threw out the Bears. Jeff kind of poo-pooed that one, but he had another option for you, the Detroit Lions there in the NFC North. Jeff, we'll let you go. We're up against it here, but we'll talk more NFL with you and, of course, NBA and other stuff later this week right here on Pirate Radio Live. Thanks for joining us, man, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Look forward to it, Clip. Thanks.
The BMOC, Jeff Nadu, joining us on a Monday edition of Pirate Radio Live. We'll talk to him coming up on Friday once again to get you ready for the sports weekend. But, man, a lot can change between now and then in the world of sports, in the world of news. We will keep you up to date with all of it each and every day here on Pirate Radio Live. Something I haven't mentioned today, Shirley Rhodes. We got to open up the booty bag coming up in hour number 3.
That is correct.
The booty bag is stacked once again. Shirley, you make the call. What will we be giving away in hour number 3?
Well, since we had it for,
decisions,
you know what?
Decisions.
Since we had it for lunch today, let's do Domino's.
All right, sounds good. We had some awesome Domino's pizzas here in the Pirate Radio studios. Today we'll make you a winner of a free Domino's pizza coming up in hour number 3. We'll be back to wrap up hour number 2 of Pirate Radio Live after this.
Let's turn a trip to the branch into a tap on your phone. Let's hit pause on a lost debit card without hitting pause on life. That's how First National Bank is redefining convenience. With a top-rated mobile app that puts more security and control at your fingertips, and friendly people to help you succeed right by your side. Let's get started at fnb-online.com or your local First National Bank. FNB member FDIC.
Your CBD store in Greenville has the highest quality CBD products in the country. Your CBD store is the first and only brand that carries USDA certified organic products such as gummies, honey sticks, and high absorption water soluble liquids, which are all made in the United States. They even offer products for your pet. The educated staff will help you answer any questions, and you can stop in anytime to get a free sample. Your CBD store, locally owned and operated, open Monday through Saturday, 10 to 6, right beside Duck Donuts in Greenville.
Know what I like most about my new phone from US Cellular?
I don't know.
That it was $700 off.
What? Switch to US Cellular and get $700 off the latest phones. US Cellular. Choose fair.
Promotional pricing requires an unlimited everyday or even better plan. New line, port in, credit approval, qualified smartphone purchase, and comes via monthly bill credit on a 30-month retail installment contract. Taxes, fees, and additional restrictions apply.
Does the idea of going to your local U.S. Cellular store make you feel a bit uncomfortable? Tired of the hassle of waiting and wearing a mask? Let Toby Williams and his outside sales team take away that worry. They will come right to your home or office and drop your phone off on the porch or at the front desk for you. Saving you time and worry is what the team at Cellular Warehouse is all about. Call Toby today at 252-799-7051 and let them help you with all of your wireless needs. Cellular Warehouse, your local U.S. Cellular authorized agent.
If you are push mowing your yard using an inefficient lawn tractor, or your current zero-turn spends more time in the shop than mowing your grass, it's time you look at a Hustler zero-turn lawnmower. Residential mowers from Hustler are built like tanks and drive like sports cars. All Hustler mowers have fabricated, welded steel decks. Don't settle on cheap units with flimsy stamped decks from big box stores. Come see Ron Ayers Motorsports. It will guide you to the right mower for your property and your budget. Find us at Ron Ayers Motorsports, Highway 11, north of the airport in Greenville.
North Carolina state parks are now open for visitors. Parks should be used for exercise, fresh air, getting out in nature, or a day trip as the state safely reopens. Visitors should enjoy themselves, but please remember the 3 W's. Wear face coverings, wait 6 feet apart, and wash your hands often. Focus on moving through the park, keep social distancing in mind, and avoid large groups. While most facilities and activities will be open, please contact any state park before your visit with questions or visit ncparks.gov/open.
This summer, may your days be long, your cannonballs large, and your subs giant. Order Jersey Mike's for your next backyard adventure. Just use our app for no-contact pickup or delivery. Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above. At Jersey Mike's, we've got everything you need to get outside this summer. Cold subs, crunchy chips, and cool drinks. The sunblock is up to you. Order through our app for no-contact pickup or delivery. Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above.
Did you know you can help prevent natural gas emergencies? Whether you're planting a tree, putting up a fence, landscaping, or starting an excavation project, Greenville Utilities strongly encourages you to follow the law and call NC 811. Even minor contact with the natural gas pipeline could cause a natural gas emergency. Before digging or excavation of any kind, North Carolina law requires you call NC 811. Please call at least 3 full working days in advance so all utility lines can be professionally marked prior to digging. Stay safe, avoid damages, and call 811 before you dig.
This is ECU head baseball coach Cliff Godwin, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. Now, back to the show.
Well, welcome back. Do you think you might have been exposed to COVID-19? Do you think your employees might have been exposed? ArcPoint Labs of Greenville offers same-day COVID-19 results, no referral needed, and same-day results are available. ArcPoint Labs of Greenville is located across from Vidant Hospital on Executive Circle behind Southern Bank. You can call for an appointment or just walk in. ArcPoint Labs of Greenville, give them a call at 215-5688 or arcpointlabs.com. And as we head back into Pirate Radio Live, Clip, I have some breaking news and one correction. I told you that Campbell was taking on Coastal Carolina on September 19th. I said that was at Campbell. That's actually incorrect. It's at Coastal Carolina.
Sorry, I congratulated you on your home game, Campbell fans, in Boys Creek.
Yeah, and the NCAA has come up with some possible dates for the college basketball season.
Okay.
There's four options that they have. Option number one would be the first practice would be September 29th. First day of the season would be on November 10th. So that would be like obviously no change to the season if they went with those dates. Option two would be first practices will be allowed on October 9th. The first day would be November 20th. Option number three would be first practices are allowed on October 14th. First day of the season would be November 25th, which is right around Thanksgiving. And then option four would have practices starting on October 24th and the first day of the season on December 4th. And they, according to this article, it says the dates are not fated to be the only ones discussed, but they are the initial tunes that the NCAA is seeking feedback on. So they're discussing with various commissioners of the different conferences to discuss whether or not those dates are workable for college basketball.
Okay, good news there. Again, things could change, but that would either one of those would mean we would have college basketball in 2020. Correct. Yeah.
That would be correct because every one of them has them, with the exception of option number 4, it would push the season back to December 4th. But otherwise, other options are either October or November. So that's right around pretty much the time when they normally start as far as their non-conference games.
Now, but the Pac-12, when they came out and, of course, said no football, also voted to postpone all sports competitions through the end of the 2020 calendar year.
Well, my assumption would be it would be the individual committee's decisions if they have not already decided to do so.
So maybe they're just saying, okay, you can play games.
Yes.
If you choose not to, you don't have to.
Right.
Kind of like we're doing with football here, although the NCAA doesn't have a say in that. But I guess if that was the case, the Pac-12 maybe would begin on January 1st if they felt it's safe to play.
Right.
Or later in the season.
And essentially now that, let's say, for example, for East Carolina, because the students are going to be going home and doing their stuff online, you could essentially have your basketball team in a bubble and start it on time if you would like to.
We got the Disney bubble right here at Minchies Coliseum.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I think that if the individual conferences has not already announced what they plan to do with their basketball seasons, the ACC is going to have their basketball seasons regardless. So more than likely what's going to look like is probably they're going to consult with like the ACC, the SEC, discuss what they're going to do if they have not already decided on basketball. Hey, which one of these dates would work better for you? If nothing else, do you want to push the season back a little bit and wait, or do you want to start it on time? Because it looks like from everything that we're seeing, and now once again, those dates are not set in stone. They're just the ones that they're just kind of throwing out there and seeing what sticks.
It's good to see the discussion, right? And people are talking about it and seeing what the best option would be. We had talked about schedules with Kim McNeil, Shirley, when she joined us on the show. Mm-hmm. And, she said there's a schedule set. As I look at ECUPirates.com, I don't see a schedule for men's basketball, at least put online. And I'll check women's as well. But, there probably is a schedule of games set. But just like this college football season, that doesn't mean those are the games that are going to be played. So there could be some adjusting of that happening as well when it comes to these schedules. We don't even know when there's going to be a college basketball game. So I'm just talking about the teams on the schedule. Again, there's no 2020-2021 women's schedule either. But I'm wondering...
Well, it's going to be a lot easier for them to pick up games as opposed to football. Basketball is a lot easier to schedule if you want to pick up a game here or there. So it may be a situation where it is going to...
so many schools around here play in the same level too.
Yeah.
That makes it easier. the fact that it's a basketball and not football makes it easier. You're right about that.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see how that's going to get set up, and it's likely that we won't see a schedule until probably, I would say, even if, let's say they push it back to mid-November or last case scenario, let's say December 4th, we're probably not going to see a schedule of any kind until probably at least a few weeks out, because I would imagine that there's going to be a mad scramble, especially if there's going to be schools that decide whether or not they're going to play.
And with non-conference, with conference, you know who you're going to play and all that, but conference, there are so many basketball schools in North Carolina, South Carolina, Virginia, that ECU could just play all regional if they have to.
I mean, they could bust. I mean, you've got
play plenty of games. Play the old CAA teams, right?
Yeah, you've got A&T, you've got you've got Campbell, you've got all these schools within the state of North Carolina that can just bust right on in, or you could bust to them, and so you can fill up your non-con schedule pretty easily and pretty quickly.
All right, let's take a time out. We'll come back and get you set for hour number 3 of Pirate Radio Live. Troy D going to join me in the Pirate Radio studios, and we will open up the Pirate Radio booty bag. We will be back right after this.
If you're like many, you may have put on the Corona 5, 10, or even 15 over the last 2 months. Well, the weather is warm and it's time to get that body back on track. At Clean Eats, we have you covered. Our weekly meal plan will quickly help you get back to where you want to be. Order online at cleaneats.com. Our cafe is back open, sanitized, and waiting to serve you healthy lunch and dinner options for dine-in, takeout, curbside, or even delivered through our delivery partners. Clean Eats, it's a lifestyle. 805 Red Banks Road, Arlington Village.
In studio today with Dr. Shondell Jones from Kinetic Physical Therapy. How can you help people with back pain?
Well, most people are going to have back pain at some point during their life, but you don't have to live with it. A bad MRI or a bad x-ray does not mean you're destined to always have pain. We have specialists that are well trained to find out what the true problem is and the true source of your pain so they can get you on track to feeling better. So don't suffer with back pain. Our nationally board certified specialists are here to help you. To learn more, visit us at kptonline.com. We can help you live well, move more, and hurt less.
Summertime is here with hot temperatures, thunderstorms, and hurricanes. It's easy to recognize pests invading your home, but a lot of people forget about moisture destroying your home's crawl space. Pest Tech is celebrating its 20th year protecting your homes using dehumidifiers, professional-grade liners, and most importantly, our licensed and highly trained technicians. Visit pesttechofgreenville.com for a free estimate on moisture control and the other silent destroyer, termites. Trust your home to the best. Pest Tech of Greenville, your East Coast exterminating professionals.
This is John Gavigan with the Gavigan Agency. Our top priority is doing what is best for our members. Whether you are buying a new vehicle, a new home, protecting your family with life insurance, or filing a claim, our agency will be there every step of the way. Our goal is to become a trusted advisor for you and your family for all of your personal and commercial insurance needs. Give us a call in Greenville at 756-1400 for a car, home, business, or life insurance quote today, and give us the opportunity to show you the benefits of doing business with someone who cares.
Great news, amigos. Chico's Dine-In Service is back open every day. Come and enjoy favorites like shrimp tacos, steak and chicken fajitas, burritos, enchiladas, ACP, and more. Chico's is still offering to-go and curbside service as well by calling 757-1666. Don't forget to stock up on Chico's famous margarita mix for only $9.99 per half gallon. Follow Chico's on Facebook and Instagram for daily updates. For Mexican food and fun, it's got to be Chico's for dine-in or to-go.
It's summertime, and it's no better time to drive away with the quality pre-owned car, truck from Greenville Auto World. Greenville Auto World is your authorized rough country dealer. We specialize in lift and leveling kits along with custom wheel packages. Whether you're looking for ground clearance or enhancing the appearance of your vehicle, trust in our team to improve your vehicle's off-road experience. Give us a call for more information, 252-364-8730. Greenville Auto World, 3840 South Charles Boulevard, across from Hardee's at Bill's Fork.
CPW's is currently open 7 days a week, with the bar opening daily at 3 p.m. for cocktails and appetizers, and for dinner starting at 4 p.m. Every Monday and Tuesday at CPW's, receive a free appetizer of your choice when you purchase 2 dinner entrees. The dining room is also available during lunch hours and weekends for private dining, meetings, and events. CPW's also offers drop-off caterings for luncheons, employee appreciation events, weddings, showers, and reunion dinners. CPW's is now offering our streamlined dining room menu of classics and favorites. If there's a legacy menu item that you miss, just ask and we'll do our best to prepare it for you. And for carryout, try easy online ordering at cpws.biz and save 10% off your order just for trying it out. Come see what we're all about. CPW's, corner of Stantonsburg Road and Arlington Boulevard in the Stanton Square Shopping Center, Greenville.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington. You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Atlantic Wireless, your local authorized U.S. cellular agent. Atlantic Wireless now offers home internet service. Visit AtlanticWireless.com to find a store near you. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Greenville Utilities Neighbor to Neighbor program provides help for those who need temporary assistance with their utility costs. You can make a difference, and your tax-deductible donation can be added to your GUC bill each month, or you can make a one-time donation, and GUC matches all donations up to $20,000 each year. Consider helping a neighbor with GUC's Neighbor to Neighbor program. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Rock.
All right, hour number 3 of Pirate Radio Live, and we will make you a winner in this hour. Open up the Pirate Radio booty bag and make you a winner of a large 2-topping pizza to Domino's. Coming up in just a little bit. Also, Troy D joins me inside the Pirate Radio studios. Troy, we got a lot of ECU news and notes to hit today.
We do. We got a lot to get to. Clip, busy last week of August. Can you believe it?
I cannot believe this.
I mean, think about it. Next week, we sit here, we'll be on the verge of September 1st.
Can you believe that we had a football game scheduled for Saturday?
I know.
At one point in time?
That's where I was going with it. I was going to see if you were picking up on this. This would be
game week
right now if it wasn't for this little situation called coronavirus.
Yes, that is correct.
COVID.
Shirley, chalk another one on the board in favor of me. You forgot this is a short segment. We will take a time out. We will come back.
So that's
it's like 5 to 4.
It's 5 to 4.
You forgot 5 times. I've forgotten 4 times.
The opening setup for hour 3 here.
Yes,
we do it every time.
Got a lot of great stuff to go over.
We will take a time out. Come back. Also, I'll ask Troy D my would you rather poll question,
and I actually voted this weekend.
Okay.
On this,
and we'll.
I will, but you did not know, so this is good. I will share with you my thoughts.
Your votes are hidden, silent. What do they call it?
Are they masked?
It's not a public vote, so I can't tell who voted for what.
You can only see the results.
I can only see the results. Anonymous is the word.
I thought you could see mine. Okay,
no.
See better than you.
Thank Chandler for that one.
I don't know who you voted for.
Great question, actually.
We'll talk about that.
You want to put the quick teaser out there in case people don't know what we're talking about now? And
yeah,
talk about
you can chime in on Facebook Live. Let me get the exact wording.
Your verbiage was good on it.
So yeah. Because somehow I confused Ellerbe like 4 times with it, but
I thought it was very clear and concise.
Thank you, Troy.
Yeah, no confusion on my end whatsoever, and I'm easily confused.
All right, ECU fans, I have a button that you can press that will guarantee a normal college football season. Games, fans, bands, pageantry,
everything,
of it.
The works.
The only catch is ECU will be led by co-head coaches Scotty Montgomery and John Thompson. Do you push the button? Yes or no?
Stay tuned.
That is the question. We'll get Troy's answer. You can chime in with yours. A big hour 3 on the way after this.
Let's turn a trip to the branch into a tap on your phone. Let's hit pause on a lost debit card without hitting pause on life. That's how First National Bank is redefining convenience with a top-rated mobile app that puts more security and control at your fingertips and friendly people to help you succeed right by your side. Let's get started at fnb-online.com or your local First National Bank. FNB member FDIC.
Hey, Pitt County Schools families, the month of August is here and school will certainly be different this year. If you are starting school 100% virtually or are attending school face-to-face on alternating weeks, we are looking forward to resuming the purpose of our system, and that's the education of the children in Pitt County in an excellent and a safe manner. For videos with our leaders, FAQs, and so much more information to answer your questions, visit our Road to Reopening page on our website at pittschools.org or keep up with us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Remember, we'll face this upcoming school year together because we are Pitt County Schools Strong.
With rates being historically low, now is the best time to buy or refinance your home. This is Talbot Green with Angel Oak Home Loans. Now is the time to take advantage of the opportunity to buy more home or refinance your current mortgage. The combination of our local team's experience and Angel Oak's wide offerings of products from standard conventional, government, and portfolio loans has something for most financial situations. For more information, call Talbot Green, Joanne Weir, or Wanda Hager at 751-2060.
NMLS 1719250 and 685842. Equal housing lender.
Bostic Sugg Furniture wants to know, how'd you sleep last night? If you're like thousands, the answer is probably not very well. You're tired, stressed, your job suffers, and worse, your health suffers. Get better sleep on a Restonic mattress, a Consumer's Digest Award winner 13 years running. Restonic Queen mattresses start as low as $4.99. Restonic two-sided Queen mattresses from only $6.99. If you're ready to wake up to a whole new you, we have a Restonic mattress waiting for you exclusively at Bostic Sugg Furniture.
At Tiebreakers, we admit we have a bit of a problem. People love our wings so much that they're starting to sell their home TVs just so they can watch all the sporting events here at Tiebreakers. Seriously, we're glad you love our hand-breaded, hand-cut boneless wings that much, but we really need you to go home at the end of the night. It's okay, we'll be here tomorrow. And when you come back, bring a friend with you. For great food, great friends, and cold beer, we'll see you at Tiebreakers. Tiebreakers, break the chain, eat local.
This is Dr. Elizabeth Robinson with Orthopedics East and Sports Medicine Center. Our extended care clinic is open on Saturdays and Sundays from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at our office on W.H. Smith Boulevard. We treat a variety of urgent orthopedic conditions without an appointment. For more information, please contact us at 757-2663 or visit our website at www.orthoeast.com.
Register for Army ROTC to be a leader and an officer in the U.S. Army, Army Reserve, or Army National Guard. You could also be eligible for a full tuition scholarship. Lead the team that makes a difference. To learn more, contact Dale Anderson at 252-622-5346 or Anderson, DAL, at ecu.edu. Paid for by the United States Army.
When you don't have time to go to lunch, let Jimmy John's deliver lunch to you. With Jimmy John's, we can get a freaky fresh sandwich to you freaky fast. Click to order at jimmyjohns.com. Dinner's great. It's one of your top 3 favorite meals. You just don't want to have to make it. Well, with Jimmy John's, you don't have to. Whether you live in a sandwich delivery zone or head into the store, you can always get a freaky fresh sandwich. Click to order at jimmyjohns.com.
This is assistant football coach Drew Dudzik, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Atlantic Wireless, your local authorized U.S. cellular agent. Atlantic Wireless now offers home internet service. Visit AtlanticWireless.com to find a store near you. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back to the show, and taking a look at your stock market report for today, the Dow was up 378 points and closed at 28,308. And the NASDAQ was ahead 67 points at 11,379, and the S&P is up 34 at 3,431. And that is a look at your Wells Fargo Advisors financial report. For a personal look into investing, call Wells Fargo Advisors today at 756-6900 in Greenville. Wells Fargo Advisors, LLC, member SIPC. And as we head back in to Pirate Radio Live, Clip, I just saw a statement that was released by Pitt Community College just a few minutes ago. I'm going to read this to you. It says, students taking courses at Pitt Community College that require a face-to-face instructional component, such as on-campus labs and classes, or clinical settings, are required to take reasonable measures to reduce their risk of exposure to COVID-19. Individuals who engage in behaviors that place themselves and the campus community at a high risk of exposure are subject to disciplinary actions up to and including suspension or expulsion from Pitt Community College. And it goes on to talk about gatherings are students found to have violated the governor's recommendations, including gatherings that have participants of 10 persons indoors or 25 persons indoors will be immediately suspended from all on-campus and clinical activities. Students should be advised that this may impact their ability to complete the required coursework and or clinical hours. And so that is... they're giving you examples of high-risk behaviors, obviously parties or gatherings where social distancing is not practiced. So that was just released on Pitt Community College's Facebook page about 5 minutes ago.
And some of the classes out there require face-to-face classes, and I know, like Tony Dunn, for example, who joins us on Fridays, is actually a history professor at Pitt Community College, and his stuff is online. A lot of stuff is online, but there are still some face-to-face classes and things out there, courses, and it sounds like they're just putting it all on the student, like, hey, if you want to keep having your class, it's the ball's in your court now. And they are, I don't know, pretty harsh wording there, but it is what it is. So I don't know. Obey the rules, folks, if you're one of those students. All right, welcome back to Pirate Radio Live, hour number 3. Troy D is here with me inside the Pirate Radio studios. A lot of all, if not all, students on ECU's campus, Troy D, will not have the face-to-face option. We learned that on Sunday as Ron Mitchelson made an announcement regarding online classes for East Carolina.
Yeah, I thought the big news coming out of that, too, was Ron alluding that there'd be no tailgating on ECU property, which is, and a lot of people are asking, well, what about Epps and Elmhurst? That's not ECU property. That is ECU property on game day, and the Pirate Club and East Carolina University basically rent that area for game day tailgating, at least definitely Elmhurst. I thought they had a deal with Epps too, but the rules would apply there also. I can assure you, if ECU is not allowing tailgating, Pitt County Schools is not going to allow it on their property either. So I just wanted to, let folks know that we're wondering about that. And I really think, Clip, that's the precursor to probably no fans in the stands. Is just my guess. I just don't see, if they're not going to allow tailgating, no other schools or within the state that I know are allowing fans in the stands. I don't see how they're going to do it. I just don't see how. I
mean, I've felt this way for months now. I know people are still holding on to it.
It's wishful thinking at this point. And honestly, I'd be happy, and I will take it, and we've talked about this before, especially where we are. I will take football with no fans in the stands right now. Give it. If you're guaranteed a season. Yes,
but I say no fans.
Season. Who cares? Let them play. Yeah. If they can just play the game, we can still cover it. We can still have the season.
I've been on that train for a while.
Game, big deal. Yeah. Take a year off, but you still get to watch.
Yeah, I mean it stinks, and you're still
it's better than nothing.
You can have your people you tailgate with go to
bring them their backyard,
your driveway, your backyard, your porch.
Get creative. Go to the beach, the river, wherever.
You'll have to create your own tailgate this year. It looks like football.
But I that, and every day it's, we just had Ron Mitchelson on Friday, as and that.
Well, let's go back to last Monday when we had him
1 week ago. Things were looking pretty good last Monday,
and
although the news had just hit about UNC Chapel Hill,
and I remember saying, and I kind of cringed after I said it, that something drastic would have to happen for ECU to go the Chapel Hill route.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? I guess it did.
Yeah. Back then we were looking good, but I just got another email from ECU. They've identified new clusters over on campus, and that's the new COVID term, the cluster. Over there, how appropriate that we have COVID clusters. Very appropriate in this day and age. But look, they're going to go online. I hate that. Who I feel bad for. I feel bad for the freshman student that this is their first experience in Greenville, at East Carolina University, definitely in college. and you're here for like 2 weeks, and then boom, you're basically your first year of college has been ripped away from you.
Yeah.
And this is coming off a senior year of high school that was ripped away.
Your graduation parties, all that stuff.
I mean, honestly, there are certain things that can't be replicated, that can't be duplicated, that can't, our Pirate Radio kickoff party is on hold, and it's unlikely we're going to be able to have it, quite honestly. But we've had a great run. I don't know, 8 years, I think
This was going to be 9th.
This is going to be the 9th, and guess what? We're going to do it bigger and better next year when things hopefully get back to somewhat being normal. But we've all experienced that, and we can experience it again. I hate that we can't have it, but it's not like, if we could all, your prom or your first year in college, those things can't be replicated. And I really hate it for those students that are taking the brunt of this and will have missed opportunities, missed experiences because of this. And look, there's a lot of other folks that have it worse. There's people that are sick and dying. I get it. But for folks that haven't done anything wrong, that are just living in these times and just experiencing loss in a different way.
Yeah, you're right. And for the freshman parents who finally got that kid out of the house after all those years, and now
pack up the room. Their room just
better stock that fridge. Yeah, Bubba's coming back home. So, that does, and that. So the tailgating, the online classes, the fans in the stands. What about football itself? We're still on a pause with ECU. Talking to Ellerbe, Brian Bailey, both of them seem to think that this thing could, be ending. The pause could be ending sooner rather than later. Troy, you getting that same feeling?
I still feel it'll end this week. Yes, I think the football team will be back at it. And the irony is that with the student body not being on campus and the football team not having to go to classes, their interaction with students will be less now. So,
for football, I took yesterday's news as a major positive.
And not that there's such thing as a bubble, but in essence, you've created somewhat of a bubble that the football team can go on and they can still play as long as the conditions warrant. And there will be less chance, hopefully, for them to catch this disease, illness, whatever you want to call it. But so on a positive, maybe that's some, if you're a football fan, that might be a good thing. We reached out to Dr. John Silvernail, who is the Pitt County Health Director, actually to be on the show today. He did a tour or met with campus officials Friday. I wanted to get some clarification on that. He wanted ECU to take the lead on that as far as what they talked about, what he did. So we've reached out to ECU. John Gilbert's actually going to join us Thursday on the show in hour 3 clip in the 5 p.m. hour. So we'll find out. And who knows what could happen between now and Thursday, by the way. So look how much has changed just in a week since we were here last week to this week. Look how much has changed between Friday and Monday. Where we were Friday to where we are today.
Once again,
a whole different set of circumstances.
The Friday Encore that runs on Monday morning.
I was listening to it this morning coming in. I was like, wow.
Which we kind of called that on the show Friday.
We could be talking about a very different story on Monday, and we are.
Yeah.
So, and I think some of this stuff with the fans, I think it's only a matter of time before they say, look, we're just going to have to not have people in the stands. I just don't, with them not allowing tailgating, how then do you allow fans in the stands?
And
I just don't see it.
That's a state deal. And Shirley, real quick, could you run down some of the fan news that came out today? Because this is going on, of course, in every state, Troy D, and some fans will be allowed to attend games. But Shirley was keeping a list, a running tab on what announcements were made today regarding fans in stands.
Cincinnati and Duke will not have any fans. The Charlotte-Georgia State game, which will be in Charlotte on September 26th, no fans. Georgia Southern is going to allow a 25% capacity. Louisville is planning to try to have 18,000 fans for their home games. And then on the NFL side, Miami has announced that they're going to allow 13,000 fans for Dolphins games, which is actually probably the most they've ever had in Dolphins Stadium.
That would be a huge crowd down there.
Yeah, it would. 13,000 would be huge for Dolphins.
And we've seen, like Lambeau Field not going to have any fans for the Packers. So the NFL, and I guess they're going to have to get a clearance from Roger Goodell and the NFL to actually have fans. But some have said they're not. Some have said we can. And the Georgia Southern one's interesting to me, Troy. I realize that Georgia Southern and Georgia State are in different cities, but of course they're in the same state. ECU plays a road game in Atlanta against Georgia State. If Georgia Southern can have fans, I'm to assume that Georgia State should be able to have fans. If that's the case, do you go tailgate in Atlanta? Do you make a Pirate road trip? It might be your only chance to see them in person this year.
I don't. I'm not going to tempt fate. No, I'm not. I just, that's not me. Like, I'm not that desperate to have to go see a game when
live and in person.
No, I'm just not. I mean, I've watched 30 years worth of games. I can sit back and enjoy that weekend, and whether it's here or at the beach or wherever, and still watch the game. You know, that's me. I'm not that hungry to have to go see football in person. I am looking forward to seeing it.
There's a contingency
that it a lot easier other ways.
That if that is the case, and it is your only opportunity, I bet there would be some rabid Pirate fans making the trip to Atlanta.
Troy D would be all over that.
You'd be, yeah. You'd stay at your Marriott Marquis.
I would absolutely put the band back together. Probably get a couple of the fellas, rent a Winnebago, and go do it right.
We believe.
Yeah,
there you go. Right
as
there
I've gotten older, I've just lost that edge, I guess.
So a younger Troy D at Fulton County Stadium, yes. An older Troy D at Turner Field.
Hard pass.
All right, there you go.
It won't be hard to get a ticket, though. I can't imagine the Georgia State tickets are flying off the shelves.
No, and even at, what'd you say, Shirley, to how much capacity for Georgia Southern?
25%.
Okay, so you'd be able to probably get some tickets.
I think it's a lot like the restaurants. Even though restaurants are open and they're 50% capacity, most of them, they still are, not all of them are necessarily full, even at 50%, because people are choosing maybe takeout instead of dining in. And I think even if you had no restrictions on football this year, I think there'd be a large contingent of the general public that would say, you know what, I'm opting out this year from going in person. I'm not risking it, or I'm in a high, one of the health categories that I need to be careful of my exposure on this. I have underlying conditions, and I'm not going. That could be, you could be an older Pirate fan. You could be someone that has asthma. I mean, there's a long list of problems. And I see a lot of people not participating because of that, regardless of what the rules are.
And I don't know what the numbers are. There's still people that would go at the drop of a hat.
Absolutely.
And I talked to somebody today who's a generation, I would say, older than me, and said that the option he's going to take on his tickets, if no fans are allowed, is just to, go ahead and use that for next year's tickets, the payment for next year. And he said because his wife already told him, even if there are fans allowed in the stands, I'm not going this year. So he said, okay, well, I guess I won't either, and I'll just kind of use the money for this year's tickets for next year, sort of thing.
Then you don't have to worry about it next year.
Yeah. So
that option's available here at East Carolina, depending on what happens with the season. Did get a Facebook question from Tim asking if he's heard anything about reimbursement on parking passes. He said he paid over $300 for a student pass that he used for 2.5 weeks. Now, I will say that we were talking about the news coming out with Ron Mitchelson Sunday, which, by the way, a rare Sunday morning press conference for the university. So, I think we got notice about an hour before it was going to happen. So I think the notice went out in the 10 o'clock hour. The press conference was 11:30, which is not normal procedure for ECU. One, usually you have more notice on stuff like that. Two, normally they're not doing this on a Sunday.
There are not a lot of Sundays, unless a coach is fired, I guess.
So I knew it was kind of rare. I appreciate our team stepping up, and we had it all online for you and on our social media. But the official release we got says the university will offer prorated refunds for students for campus housing and dining. Students will receive detailed information regarding this process and messages to their email accounts. Now, his question's about parking, and I know I've talked to a lot of other people. What about other fees? You pay a lot of fees in tuition. It's tuition and fees. The tuition is still there because you're going online, so you're still going to take your classes. I guess it's really kind of the fee part that people have a question about. If you're staying on campus, you'll get that refunded, the part that you haven't used. And the same thing with dining. I don't know, Clip, what happens.
Parking's a separate deal.
Fee, with the athletic fee, which is large, with all any other fees that are included nowadays, separate from tuition. I don't have an answer for that right now. That is probably a good question for ECU administration. I don't know. I don't know how they handle that, and I don't know whether, hey, look, that's just cost of doing business this year, or they're going to refund us. I don't have an answer.
Those parking folks love their money too. So,
but I could see people saying, "Hey, I only use this 2.5
absolutely,
weeks.
yeah, they
You're
should
charging me
get a
for
refund,
a full year or full semester, or whatever the case might be." I understand they're
you should get a refund on it.
Yeah, I mean, but just because you should doesn't mean you will.
That is true. You can't always get what you want. Life isn't fair. You won't? Can I throw out the poll question now, Troy?
Yes, let's do it.
All right. I want to get your answer on this. So I thought about
I
this.
mentioned that John Gilbert's coming on Thursday.
Yep.
Okay.
5 o'clock hour.
So we'll talk to him about what the health director was, why he was on campus, because that could have an implication too.
And every other breaking news item that comes out between now and Thursday, which will probably be a page full,
Yeah, and I may go to the press conference with the health director. He has a presser Wednesday. I may go to that and ask him, does he have the authority to shut down something like a sporting event as the health director?
Like, even if clearance was given, say, by the governor?
Yeah, I'm just curious. What authority? Like, I don't know.
Can a county
health director shut it down?
Yeah.
Because I've heard, different things. So I'd like to get some clarification just on how much power does he have.
Better question, can he override the governor and get fans in the stadium?
There's a good question, too.
I'm going to say no. But
it's a legit question.
All right, Troy, I've got this button, and you can press the button, and it will...
Is it a big button?
It's...
What's it look like? I kind of think of it as a plunger button, like you...
Don't we have a button in the... I think one of them has a bad word on it.
Yeah.
Don't show that one on the Shirley Cam, but we have another one that Shirley can probably show. There you go. It's the...
so it's like, what was the Office Depot used to have that? Or
yeah. That is our no button for when we ask Shirley to do too many things and she just can hit the button. It says no.
All right, so you have this magical button.
The size of a fist.
Here's the good news. All right, fair enough. If you hit the button, we get football as you know it.
Everybody's playing.
It's like 1999.
Is that the year?
Well, I'm just saying it was pretty normal that year.
I guess so.
Playing,
you
get the band, you get fans in the stands,
you get it all.
Everything.
College game day.
Yes, full tailgating. And not only tailgating without time limits. Because before remember that there used to be a time where there wasn't a 6-hour rule, Clip.
I did not know that.
When I was in school, you could tailgate as long as you want. You could go out there as early as you wanted. There was no you could have kegs. I mean, it was a free for all back in the early 90s, baby.
All right.
My early 90s people know what I'm talking about. There wasn't this, you can only be out 6 hours beforehand. There's no kegs. You can't do this. You can't do that.
Child's play.
There were no rules. It was anything goes. And we loved it. And everybody loved it. Let's say it's like that.
All right, fine. I mean, if you want to sweeten it up a little bit, it's like that. All that is awesome. So you're going to hit the button, right? But there is one catch.
It sounds awesome.
The only catch is that ECU will be led by co-head coaches Scotty Montgomery and John Thompson. So you just had this one side of awesomeness, everything you want during the fall in the college football
really
season.
Fired up.
On the other side, you got John Thompson manning the defense, Coach Mo running the offense for East Carolina. Do you hit the button and go on with it?
I hate to go Maury Povich on you. You know how they do those things during Maury Povich.
Is this a paternity test?
No, he announces you are not the father, or you are the father,
Sure.
You're not the father. I feel like this is how I need to announce my answer. Clip, as much as I hate to say this, you do not hit the button.
Oh, my God.
No way.
Are you kidding me?
I do not. If it comes down to John Thompson and Scotty Montgomery running the show, cancel the freaking season. It's over. It's done. Forget it. Bring on COVID. I can't deal with that.
Wow. That is shocking.
It's over. And in fact, when I voted on your poll, 75% of the Pirate Nation agreed with me, Clip Brock.
I can't believe it. Troy's got the no button, and I talked about it earlier. I have seen
a hard
this.
pass, my friend. A hard pass. I never thought I'd say that, but I can't deal with it. No, I cannot endorse them back in the Pirate Purple and Gold.
And a lot of people, I've realized.
If you left it at John Thompson, I might have said maybe, but when you put Scotty Montgomery in there, deal breaker.
Wow. There's a lot of people that only like football for ECU football. And they go tailgate to games, they go to the stadium, they watch the game. Then when they get home, they're done with sports until the next ECU football Saturday. So they would vote no, obviously. because it's going to be a bad year for ECU football.
Yeah. Oh.
There's also a lot of people like me that watches every freaking college football game that's on, no matter who's playing. And I would go through a 2-10 season.
Let's say 0-12.
No, they never went over. They're going to win a game. They're going to beat somebody.
All right, 1-11.
Scotty,
we'll go through a 1-11 season to be able to watch other teams.
Scotty's winning 3.
No, if we're going to be that bad, shut it down for everybody.
Scotty's winning 3.
Cliff, I got a question. So, are we sticking with this year's roster, or are we taking a mixture of John Thompson's team and a mixture of Scotty Moe's team?
Well, we could get
and putting that together. I mean,
all right, you get Chris Johnson. You get Zay Jones.
Well, then they wouldn't lose.
Think about this year's team with Holt Naylor.
They lost with them the first time. What do you mean?
Well, good point.
Now we're
talking about Zay Jones now or Zay Jones back then?
Oh dear. I don't know. Maybe this year's
too
roster.
complicated.
I would take. I'll press the button.
You take it regardless because you want college football. I can't believe, Troy, people like you are voting no.
No, I can't see them.
No college football at all.
Well, I'm not worried about the rest of college football. I look at it strictly from purple and gold glasses.
Yeah, I
if
can't
it's
do
that bad for us, and it would end up in a 1-11 type scenario. So best case 3-9.
So bottom line,
I can't deal with it.
No football or bad football is worse than no football.
Yeah, if that's the decision you're giving.
I guess.
Yes.
In this case.
Yeah. And what are the results? What were
the results? Are overwhelming the opposite of what I would say. There have been 368 votes, pretty good sample size.
This is probably better than most of the presidential polling, so this is good.
Would you hit the button? Yes, 24%. No, 76% of the vote.
Wow.
Unbelievable. No.
Chad Moore on Twitter agrees with Troy. He says 100% agree with Troy Dreyfus. Don't touch that button.
Wow.
You're poisoning yourself.
Unbelievable. So, yeah, well, I guess that does save us for some brutal fifth quarters then, Troy D. Thank you for that.
Yeah, I just couldn't do it.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could watch it again.
And what if you were in charge of the entire Pirate Nation and you had people why
don't you just
lobbying from both sides? Troy, hit the button. No, don't hit the button.
I mean, is Jeff Confer going to be your athletic director in charge?
No, I did not throw that in. You still got
Cecil going to be your chancellor?
No, it was just
what type of poison pill is this, Clip Rock?
Just 2 coaches. Everything else remains the same.
And I will say, look, John Thompson was a nice guy.
Nobody's talking about how nice or crappy the human is. We're talking about coaching.
I know. I'm just telling you. I like John. I liked John Thompson.
You don't like Scotty Montgomery?
I didn't say I dislike Scotty Montgomery. I just feel John Thompson was pretty genuine, and Scotty Montgomery was fake.
Redbeard just tweeted in agreement with you, Troy. Redbeard says there is no difference between Corona and Scotty and John Thompson. They both make people sick.
Wow. Sean says Troy is right. I mean, yeah, the overwhelming majority is saying do not hit the button.
Yeah.
No football is better than awful football.
Yeah, I think your love of just the game itself is hazing your ability to look at the.
I'm not hazing. I want Big Ten noon games, SEC 3:30.
Yeah, I don't care.
I want Pac-12. I want Mountain West at night, and then I want ECU. I want game days here with Shirley at Pirate Radio. I want it all.
You want people calling and bitching after the game.
I don't like that, but if
it's okay.
I had to sacrifice.
I appreciate the enthusiasm. I'd just rather
if I had to sacrifice angry fans every Saturday for me to be able to watch football all day, I would take that.
I do think it was a great question.
It's all about sacrifices.
It did make me think for a minute, but then I went with my gut feeling.
How long did you really think?
About 5 seconds.
You're like, hell no.
Yeah.
No, sir.
Wait a second. This makes 0 sense. I can't do this. I cannot endure. And then I thought I might be on an island, but then when I got the results, after you vote, it gives you the results. I'm like, oh, well, I'm glad to see. My faith in the Pirate Nation's been renewed.
You are in the majority.
Yes. Thank you, Pirate Nation.
By a wide margin.
Yeah.
All right, let's get a break in. As we go to break, we will make you a winner. 317-1250.
Booty
oh my goodness. What's in the booty bag?
Booty everywhere.
Large 2-topping pizza to Domino's. Sweet. We'll give it to you for free. Caller 317-1250. 317-1250. The only catch is if you win, Ricky Stokes comes back to be the basketball coach.
I thought that's going to be your next game. We get a basketball season, but
the staff is Ricky Stokes, Jeff Leva.
Save it for after the break, Cliff.
All right. 317-1250. Caller 12 is a winner in the Pirate Radio Booty Bag. We're back after this.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is Tom Brown from Brown & Wood Cadillac. We've been serving the Pirate Nation in Eastern North Carolina for 83 years. We have 4 brands, 3 generations, 2 showrooms, and 1 goal to make sure you leave a happy customer.
This month at Brown & Wood, save over $15,000 off on all new 2020 Cadillac Escalades. Remember, Brown & Wood is the home for the lifetime powertrain warranty for all makes and models.
We're located on Greenville Boulevard next to the Convention Center, or shop us online at brownandwoodauto.com.
In studio with Mike Mullis from Fixed NC. And Mike, you guys have a disinfecting service for homes and businesses.
Yes, we have a 2-step process that includes disinfecting and also provides 30 days of protection to all surfaces treated. We're doing this for 10 cents a square foot in businesses and $10 a room in your home.
Mike, how can folks get in touch with you?
Call me directly at my cell, 252-999-0001. Again, 3 9s, 3 zeros, and a 1. Or fixednc.com.
Introducing new Domino's Carside Delivery. Now when you carry out, you don't even need to leave your car. So you don't have to interrupt your favorite song.
It's time to drive down to the rock show.
Or interrupt your kid's favorite song.
We'll be friends just for one day.
You can interrupt this, actually.
Try Domino's Carside Delivery when you carry out 3 topping pizzas for $7.99 each, and we'll carry out your order to your car contact-free. Carry out only. You must ask for this limited time offer. Prices, participation, and charges may vary. Excludes XL and specialty pizzas. Crust availability varies by size. Message and data rates may apply when using Domino's Carside Delivery.
If you are push mowing your yard using an inefficient lawn tractor, or your current zero-turn spends more time in the shop than mowing your grass, it's time you look at a Hustler zero-turn lawnmower. Residential mowers from Hustler are built like tanks and drive like sports cars. All Hustler mowers have fabricated, welded steel decks. Don't settle on cheap units with flimsy stamped decks from big box stores. Come see Ron Ayers Motorsports. It will guide you to the right mower for your property and your budget. Find us at Ron Ayers Motorsports, Highway 11, north of the airport in Greenville.
Great food, great atmosphere, and great service is Ottavola Market Cafe. Ottavola is simply a restaurant that focuses on that, being a great restaurant. There's something for everyone at Ottavola. The menu offers a variety of great choices like pastas, pizzas, sandwiches, soups, salads, and seasonal rotating selections. Lunch or dinner, Ottavola is always the right call. Call ahead and get Ottavola to go, or stop by the bar for a drink with friends. It's simple. Come and eat at Ottavola Market Cafe, Red Banks Road next to Food Lion, and OttavolaMarket.com. Ottavola, pirates supporting pirates.
Let me tell you a thing or two about the people who don't compromise. For starters, they love a nice, cold Pepsi Zero Sugar. Why? Because it's delicious, it's refreshing, and it has zero sugar. How's that for not compromising? They're the sort of person that likes surf with their turf. Because who decided beef shouldn't have a buddy? And a drink with their feast? Yeah, they have a Pepsi Zero Sugar. The person who doesn't compromise loves a good golden doodle. All the golden retriever goodness with just a hint of doodle. No compromises there. Oh, and when they're bringing said golden doodle for a walk, they bring a Pepsi Zero Sugar. They're the kind of person jorts were made for. 50% jeans, 50% shorts, 100% the most comfortable thing that's ever graced your wardrobe. Not compromising never looked so good. So crack open a Pepsi Zero Sugar and taste what it's like to have it all. Pepsi Zero Sugar. Zero sugar done right. That's what I like.
This is Big John Williams, strength and conditioning coach for East Carolina football, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Atlantic Wireless, your local authorized U.S. cellular agent. Atlantic Wireless now offers home internet service. Visit AtlanticWireless.com to find a store near you. Now, back to the show.
Well, welcome back. Hey, Pirate fans, if you're hungry for the best ECU news and information, then you need to be part of the Pirate Radio digital platforms. Keep up with the latest breaking news and information by liking us on Facebook and following us on Twitter and Instagram at PR927FM. Listen live and to all of our archive programming anytime by visiting PR927FM.com. Stay connected beyond your radio dial with all of the Pirate Radio digital platforms. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Baron.
All right, back with you on Pirate Radio Live. Travis and Grifton, our winner of the large 2-topping pizza to Domino's. We opened up the booty bag. We'll do it each and every day this week here on Pirate Radio Live. Troy D hanging out inside the Pirate Radio studios as we are in hour number 3 of today's show. And Troy, what are you jotting down over there?
Your poll question just made me think. It kind of, you know how you have like a great sitcom and then it spins off into a different show.
Yeah,
like I don't know. I'm trying to think of some sitcom of the '80s that spun like
Jeffersons and
Shirley, you're
somebody
good
help
with
me
this.
out.
There's like a bunch of sitcoms that were spin-offs of, like the Cosby Show had a spin-off.
Frasier
Yeah,
spun
Cosby
off
Show
from
had a
Cheers.
a different world.
Different world.
That
right.
was a
Stuff like
Cosby
that.
Show
Yeah.
spinoff.
Yeah.
So your poll question was the original sitcom.
Okay.
But then I feel like I've got a spin-off from that.
You're a classic topper, as Ellerbe would say. I'll play the role of Ellerbe.
I loved your question. If you're just your question was, rephrase your question real quick.
You can have a normal college football season, everything included, like we always remembered and have enjoyed. But the only catch is ECU, their football team would be coached by Scotty Montgomery and John Thompson.
76% of the Pirate Nation said hell no.
Yes,
on that.
they're not.
Maybe think of other duos. You know, we were going to I was like, then I started thinking, well, how would you rank these duos? Not as the best, but as the worst of all time. So you've got you nailed, the football. Scotty Montgomery, John Thompson, probably the worst football duo. Wouldn't you say?
Yes,
in ECU history.
Easily, yeah.
You got Ricky on basketball. Ricky Stokes. I would say Jeff Lebo.
Nah, you can't put Lebo in there.
Is that not fair to Lebo?
Not at all. I mean, CIT championship.
Yeah, okay, all right. So Ricky Stokes has probably got to go down in history as probably the worst coach.
They had a 6-win season.
Yeah. Who would be with him though? Who's the second worst coach in ECU basketball history?
Not our current coach. Not our friend Mike Steele, right? I'll have to look back at Coach Steele's numbers. Although we were awesome at A.G. Cox when he coached, so I can't say Mike Steele.
Yeah, I guess you'd have to go back in history.
Can't be Eddie Payne.
No.
Can't be Mac.
No.
Can't be Harry, and I don't think.
No.
So we'd have to go back. I don't know.
I had Lebo in there, so now it's messed up my whole.
Lebo is up there for like most wins in ECU history. I know that the end of the tenure was rough, and it seemed like he stopped giving a damn, kind of.
Yeah.
And so we have a sour taste.
All right, so let's say Ricky Stokes and a person to be named later.
Back in 1983-1984 season, Charlie Harrison had a 4-24 record.
Charlie, I'm sorry, you're on the board.
All right.
Do you know Charlie Harrison?
I don't remember him. That was before my time.
As Troy would say, I'm sure he's a great guy, but not a good coach.
All right, so you got Charlie Harrison for older Pirate fans and Ricky Stokes. And then on the administration side, you've got Cecil Staten and Jeff Confer. Out of those three, how do you rank them 1, 2, 3?
Oh, as like the worst?
Yeah. Just curious.
Boy, what was that guy's record?
4 wins.
4 wins, 24 losses.
So they went through 2 seasons, those two guys.
7 wins.
With 10. Ricky and...
oh, yeah, that's right. He had 6.
10 and like 50 or whatever.
It was actually 5 wins.
I don't know. I'm not ranking the worst ever.
I was just curious.
You do it.
Well, it was your poll question that made me think of it.
What I thought you were going to do here.
I would rank Cecil and Jeff as the worst combo ever for ECU.
Of course you would.
Then I'd put John Thompson, Scotty Montgomery as number 2, and I would put Ricky and any other basketball coach as number 3.
I thought what you were going to do here is another like tag team duo.
You could have basketball season, but Ricky and
no.
Charlie Harrison's going to be your coach,
right? But I thought you were saying too with Chancellor and AD. And I don't remember this time that well, but you do. Like the Hamrick, who was the AD with Hamrick? Wasn't there?
Well, Hamrick was the AD.
I mean, who was the Chancellor? Wasn't there a bad combo?
Oh yeah, Bill Muse. Yeah.
So
Muse was terrible at the time. Bill Muse was probably one of the worst chancellors we've ever had.
But in your opinion,
he looks like a dream compared to Cecil. Yeah, but you're right. Up until Cecil, Bill Muse, I think, was the consensus All-American worst chancellor.
And he was he was combined with Mike Cameron.
He was. You're right.
A lot of people.
What is it about this place where you have a bad? You could survive a bad AD or a bad chancellor. Why do we always have to have them at the same time?
True.
Not now. Now I think we got a good combo.
Yeah.
I think Gilbert Houston is like we've gone from
Gilbert Mitchelson.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Gilbert Mitchelson. Yeah, and Houston, a football coach too. I mean, think back of the combo then. You had Scotty Montgomery, Jeff Confer, and Cecil.
Boy, this conversation.
No, I'm just saying,
really,
but you wonder why ECU's having problems. We had the three of the worst.
We don't wonder anymore. We know why.
I know, but you can look back at it now and go, well, that kind of explains it. But now I feel like we've got three of the best.
And hopefully back on the right track.
Yeah. Was your poll question, Clip? Sorry, you just put me in this.
the spinoff
you put me in this trajectory.
I know. Like, is there anything positive we can talk about right now? There's been more scheduled games today in college football. That's good. I found out, Troy, there's a college football game this Saturday. Not that you care about because you're only ECU.
Right. Who's playing?
I'm all over Austin P versus Central Arkansas.
Go P.
Let's go P. That's their chance.
It is.
And we're pulling for them this weekend.
No, I think it is hard to believe this would have been game week right now.
Yeah.
I mean, we would have been at the press conference earlier today.
Practice Tuesday, practice Wednesday, or game week prep.
But I do think ECU will play, and here's why. I think if the SEC play if the SEC calls it quits, football's done for college football. SEC holds all the cards.
And I don't know about you on that note, Troy, that like no news is good news. I haven't heard much news from the SEC.
Let's assume the SEC plays, the ACC will play because they got to keep up with the SEC.
Yeah.
So if the SEC plays, the ACC plays, then the Big 12 will play because they don't want to. They're the only show in town out west now. So then you've got three major conferences playing. The AAC will play if the ACC plays because they don't want to be left out either.
Yeah.
They're trying to be in the Power 5, calling it Power 6. Well, you can't be in the Power 6 if you're not playing. So if those three big conferences are playing, AAC will play. So, but once again, unless the SEC calls it quits, I think we're playing football. So the SEC is the one to watch.
It is. And again, I haven't heard much news out of them, which is a good thing, right?
With fans, without fans, I don't care. I'm saying I think they'll play football games.
Yeah. Well, the question is, can a team like Oklahoma catch Ohio State in the polls? Oh, wait, Ohio State isn't playing.
I heard y'all talk
about it. But it
about
doesn't
this.
matter. They're number 2 in the country, Troy.
I know, how dumb is this that they're telling you, hey, be sure to vote for teams even if they're not playing. What happens after the first week when the season does start? What happens in October when they're still not playing games? Do you still rank Ohio State and Michigan?
Surely, according to...
No, the AP is going... Once they get to the start of the college football season, that full week, they will drop out all the schools that are not playing.
So it's preseason.
So just like every other year, the opening AP poll is a farce.
Yeah.
And this year, they're admitting it. That is a giant farce.
Yeah.
No,
I mean, let's vote for a team that's not going to play.
Yeah, why don't we vote for who's a fictional football team?
I mean, honestly, they shouldn't even really have preseason polls.
Zach Morris played for Bayside High. Can we put them in the poll? They're not playing this year either.
They're really worthless. It's a few coaches or media people what their opinion is, and usually their opinion is wrong. Tell me a poll that was a preseason poll that's right at the end of the year. Tell me one.
Call me now.
They're never right.
Yeah.
They're always wrong. You might as well put East Carolina in there.
Although in college football, it's pretty simple to put Alabama, Clemson up there, and you'll be at least 50% right. But no, I mean, you're exactly right. And they shouldn't come out with one because it does kind of influence things too, especially if you're a UCF or, an ECU in years past. But now, UCF and Cincinnati are what, Shirley, 1920?
I think they're 2021.
2021, so right around there. So they've already got a hill to climb to get up to the top 10, the top 5. If you come out with a poll in middle of the season, maybe they start out 12 instead of 20. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Their climb is
correct.
Is shorter and easier.
They have a chance to be in the
playoff.
Sure. Yeah. They're penalized because of the way they're ranked preseason, which is just opinion based.
Yes, and this year they're behind schools that aren't participating, which again is just.
Although they do wait for the playoff poll.
They do.
I will say that until what? I think you got to be 6 weeks. 4? Is it 4 weeks in the season?
No, it's pretty deep into the season. Might be 6.
Yeah, so
might be longer than that.
Whatever they call that now,
the college football playoff poll.
Yeah. So they have at least adjusted that, but they didn't always do that.
And I don't know if they're doing a coaches poll. Did you hear Morgan the other day talking about the coaches poll where the AD or the SID at the time when Logan was coaching? He asked him what he was doing, and the SID said, "I'm filling out the coaches poll."
Charles Bloom.
Yeah, that's what he said. Yeah. And he was like, what do you coach? What do you mean? Doesn't Logan do that? He's like, Logan never looks at this thing.
No, and honestly, that's how most of these guys are.
Yeah.
The majority of
Why isn't it called the SID's poll?
It should be.
Why are we giving these coaches so much
Most
credit?
of the coaches, if they're doing their job, they only know what's going on with their program.
The only one for sure that was doing it was Spurrier, because he'd always vote for Duke. He was the one Duke vote.
Yeah.
So he was doing it himself. He'd vote Florida #1 and Duke.
Yeah, but I think a majority of the SIDs actually do it for the coaches. They're too busy to mess with it.
Well, look, everybody's got a cause these days.
Until it matters for something, and the coach wants to make sure
we're up there.
Yeah.
My cause now is change the name of the poll to the SID's poll. Let's give them some love. All right, let's take our final timeout. We'll come back. Get ready to wrap up today's edition of Pirate Radio Live. More to go after this. Great news, amigos. Chico's Dine-In Service is back open every day. Come and enjoy favorites like shrimp tacos, steak and chicken fajitas, burritos, enchiladas, ACP, and more. Chico's is still offering to-go and curbside service as well by calling 757-1666. Don't forget to stock up on Chico's famous margarita mix for only $9.99 per half gallon. Follow Chico's on Facebook and Instagram for daily updates. For Mexican food and fun, it's got to be Chico's for dine-in or to-go.
Back to school is here, and the AutoStore Group is committed to helping our customers drive the best quality pre-owned vehicles and is committed to caring about our kids and our community. This is Mary from the AutoStore Group, and right now, during our Backpack to School event, every time we sell a vehicle, we will be making a $50 donation to any local school that the customer chooses. The AutoStore Group, 3 locations, over 150 vehicles online at theautostoregroup.com, and most importantly, proud members of the Eastern North Carolina community for over 38 years.
Feeling the heat? Then get out of the kitchen. Jersey Mike's has you covered all summer with fresh cold sliced subs. Perfect for parks, picnics, and patios. Order through our app for no contact pickup or delivery. Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above. This summer, may your days be long, your cannonballs large, and your subs giant. Order Jersey Mike's for your next backyard adventure. Just use our app for no contact pickup or delivery. Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above.
The Frells family lives on a lush piece of land called Greener Pasture, and they work on it behind the wheel of a John Deere 1 Series tractor. With its durable construction and features that hook up to dozens of attachments with ease, no job is too tough. The Frells family runs with us, because this is more than just land, it's home. Nothing runs like a Deere. Search John Deere 1 Series for more.
Get quality at every turn with Quality Equipment, your local John Deere dealer, with 27 locations in North Carolina and southeastern Virginia. Find out more at QualityEquip.com.
In studio with Gloria from Kinetic Physical Therapy. What kind of wellness services do you guys offer?
We have massage therapy with your choice of either a relaxation massage, a therapeutic stretching session, or a prenatal massage. We have foot reflexology. We partner with Pirate Cryo for cryotherapy, also known as cold therapy, and we have health and wellness coaching. And if you're interested in holistic body therapy and saving money, we encourage you to check out our wellness membership plan, where you can have all of our wellness services at a constant discounted price. You can learn more today at kptonline.com.
If you're like many, you may have put on the Corona 5, 10, or even 15 over the last 2 months. Well, the weather is warm and it's time to get that body back on track. At Clean Eats, we have you covered. Our weekly meal plan will quickly help you get back to where you want to be. Order online at cleaneats.com. Our cafe is back open, sanitized, and waiting to serve you healthy lunch and dinner options for dine-in, takeout, curbside, or even delivered through our delivery partners. Clean Eats, it's a lifestyle. 805 Red Banks Road, Arlington Village.
Hi, I'm Annalie Newhoff.
And I'm Rob Campbell.
And we are with CopyPro. We have been locally owned and operated here in Eastern North Carolina for almost 50 years. CopyPro is the leader in office technology.
Does your business struggle with keeping printing costs low or producing professional documents? Here at CopyPro, total customer satisfaction is our #1 priority.
We have a variety of solutions to help reduce your printing expenses and make your business more productive. Call us today at 1-800-682-6558 or online at copypro.net.
CopyPro, we are the professional office systems people.
Hey, welcome to Jack Brown's.
Hey, can I get a cheeseburger and add lettuce and tomato?
No, we don't have it. You can get some macaroni and barbecue chips on it, though. Greg Brady style.
Or cream cheese and jalapeno jelly.
Cobra Kai. Or bacon, a fried egg, and some cheese. Chiplet.
Or just cheese, like a cheeseburger.
Cool. I'll take a Greg Brady with those new cheese fries you guys got.
Sounds good.
Oh, I forgot. Can I get us out of ranch?
No! Jack Brown's, 805 Dickinson Avenue, Greenville.
This is ECU assistant football coach Roy Tesh, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Atlantic Wireless, your local authorized U.S. cellular agent. Atlantic Wireless now offers home internet service. Visit AtlanticWireless.com to find a store near you. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. It's easy to see mosquitoes and fire ants, but don't forget about moisture and termites destroying your home underneath. Visit the professionals at Pest Tech online at pesttechofgreenville.com for all of your pest control needs. Now let's head back into Pirate Radio Live. Here is your host, Clip Brock.
All right, wrapping up a Monday edition of Pirate Radio Live. Thanks to everybody who joined me on today's program, including Todd Graffagnini, our buddy who was the Tulane play-by-play voice, now the voice of the Pelicans, and talked about the great job the NBA and really other leagues too, the NHL, Major League Baseball on, and a tip of the cap to NASCAR, because I saw over the weekend that now they are officially caught up with their schedule. It's like the COVID stoppage never happened in NASCAR. Now, they had to run some midweek races and do a few double headers on the weekend. But, Troy, the folks at NASCAR have done an awesome job to get the schedule in.
More relevant or less relevant this year, NASCAR, would you say now?
I would say more.
Like, is this
a little more?
Them, or does it hurt them?
There's no way it could hurt them, right?
Well, I guess not having fans at the races has probably hurt them.
As far as relevancy, I would say
at one time they were one of the only sporting events around.
Yeah, and they have.
I was watching. I remember a few months ago, I was watching the guys race virtual, like video games.
Yeah,
and into it. Like,
God, how dark were those times?
Yeah, I mean, think of it. Doesn't it seem like 2 years ago?
It does. Yeah.
But, yeah, I haven't. NASCAR. Don't get me started.
Now, it's been a fantastic year of NASCAR, right, Troy D?
Our pool, our fantasy draft.
Yeah.
What are we redrafting, by the way? Because
I gave you an option.
I feel like I'm funding your daughter's college fund with this pool.
Here's the kicker. You had the first pick.
I did.
And you drafted Kyle Busch, and he has not won a race.
No. And normally he's Mr. Go-To.
You drafted Jimmy Johnson because, his winless streak has to end.
Yeah.
He has not won a race.
Well, and this is final season.
Yeah.
You know how it is in the script. They're going to let him have some.
You would think so.
Yeah. Not a one.
You told me that it was more rigged than wrestling. Why aren't they rigging a race for Jimmy Johnson?
Good point. I think they're tired of him winning. It's like Ric Flair. He has too many belts.
And I've got Harvick and Hamlin, who have won just about every race. That pretty much, yeah.
You could take Harvick and Hamlin and give me the field, and I'm still owe you the same amount of money.
It seems that way. So, yeah, the pool's not going too well for you. Left? You're almost done paying me all this money every week.
Financing a car for you, right?
Are we in the playoffs yet? Nobody around here knows.
I hear them talk about it all the time. When does it start?
You just want to know when it ends.
Yes.
When are we getting out of here? So you don't have too much longer, Troy D.
Yeah. My son keeps me up to date on Dad,
Kyle Busch has got to win.
Sometimes I'll forget, like there's a race on or where to find it.
He knows our rosters better than
he does.
Than
I will. Do I have him or he gets Clip has him? So he's like my court reporter.
Been a rough year for Troy D Motorsports, but
yes,
maybe brighter days are ahead. Troy, I will see you again Thursday at 5.
Yep, John Gilbert, ECUAD will join us at that time too. Look forward to it.
Looking forward to Tuesday. Cy Seymour going to join us on the show. A little sci-fi with Cy. Cy time, folks. Get ready for it. We'll ask him who was the worst ECU basketball coach of all time. Just kidding. We will. Cy's too positive.
How would he answer that question?
Well, look, Clip, it's a tough job, Clip.
In your experience, Cy, who is the worst coach you had to work under?
Clip, I tell you, they've all been good, Clip. I gotta tell you.
$100 if he doesn't answer that question.
Nah, and I'm not gonna ask him, so we'll never find out. All right, we will see you Tuesday, 3 o'clock for an all-new edition of Pirate Radio Live. Shirley Chandler, great job. So long, everybody.
Thanks for listening to Pirate Radio Live, an exclusive presentation of the voice of the Pirate Nation. This is